My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jakey Hogan and I are going to break down the entire UFC Vegas.
I know. No thanks.
He has a beer company now. Isn't he like Mr. America?
He's, old America, I would say.
The America we're trying to get away from. Well, we're trying to break down the entire UFC Vegas 103 fight card. We are going to give you our picks, predictions, bets, and our DraftKings plays. But before we do that, let's give Sensei Jacob his flowers. Sensei Jake had an incredible week last week. He's about to go to UFC Vegas 103. He's getting on an airplane. He's heading west. So let's gas him up a little bit. Let's get him excited for his trip. UFC Seattle, great card for Jakey boy. 31% ROI. Couple units profit. Hit a couple of phenomenal bets.
If you guys aren't watching that Prop Hunter video,
I've got a slide for it.
You're really missing out. We hit 2+ last week. We hit, or I guess, however you define it.
5 days ago, yeah.
A Mayan calendar. If you're looking at, what's the pre-Greek calendar? There's the Venetian calendar, the Roman calendar. Really depends on if you're going to AD, BC, if you're even a Christ person. Angelo, are you?
No, but a quick Louis C.K. joke. He was arguing religions.
I said boom, 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 and let me hear you say way-oh.
Way-oh. He was doing a stand-up about different religions, and he was like, Christianity won. And I forget the full context, and he was like, you don't believe me? What year is it? And it's just such a funny argument because that literally is, that's how we determine time now.
There's arguments against that. But
anyway, while we're continuing the gassing up of Jakey boy.
I said boom, boom, boom. Pre-stream.
I said way-oh.
Yeah, pre-stream, I was about to tell a story, and Angel's like, save for the stream. We'll work in you to the boom, 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 because I'll talk
right
about
now, right off the rip, 1 minute in.
I did. You told me to give me a cue. I gave you the cue for boom, boom, boom.
He was about to tell a story. It felt like it was going to be funny, so I was like, wait, let's not do it right now.
Every story I tell is funny.
Oh, I've heard some downers. Well, let me gas you up. All right, fine. Boom, boom, boom. Where that was coming from.
Keep going with me.
Yeah, sorry. Let's gas up Jakey boy. He has hit 3 of his last 4 lock of the weeks. It wasn't just a few weeks ago that you guys were really piling on Jakey boy. This is it.
It's just all the new.
He lost his touch.
I get it. Some of you people don't know who I am. You just see a guy that's showing up, having fun, making picks, and you don't realize that we are streaky. But it's when we're down the most is when we bounce back the hardest. That's when we give the long strokes to the lock of the week, and we just start dominating. We lost 4 in a row. You guys don't understand. Before my 10 streak, which will never be done again, except for me, probably right now, honestly. 10 lock of the weeks in a row. If you would have compounded that money each one, you would have been a fucking millionaire. It'll never be underdog picks in a row. Before that, I had lost 4 in a row. I lost 4 in a row, and everyone's like, you're a fucking idiot, and then I win fucking 10 in a row. So everyone always fucking sells low and buys high, and they fucking... Hey, if you guys are veterans, let me know. You guys know what's going on. Because there's a lot of veterans that are like, oh, he's about to get hot. Here we go. Hold on tight.
Well, there you go. And here's what the last 4 lock of the weeks look like. He hit the Venom page one to prevent himself from an all-time losing streak. Lost on Francisco Prado the next week, and you guys are like, this guy sucks.
What a bullshit decision.
And now, Nazim Sadikov, Mel Costa, these 3 wins in the last 4 lock of the weeks returned almost 6 unit of profit. 6 unit of profit. A 142% ROI just from 3 of the last 4 lock of the weeks. That's the beauty of the lock of the week. It's an underdog.
You have Prado as a winning bet, you idiot.
It says L. Oh, minus $1. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I did the math wrong there.
You fucking idiot. And honestly, it honestly kind of evens out because Nazim is listed at plus 127. Most of you got him at plus 200 because the odds switched so much. But
thank God I didn't post this. I was like, let me do something clever. I was like, Jacob is coming off a great week. He's going to Vegas.
Yeah, I was like, how does I was just staring at.
You're
that,
like, I didn't make that much money.
Yeah, I was like, how does it make 5? I was like, am I missing something here? I almost had to we almost had to go to the whiteboard already for the math. Angelo, math. That's why I put it last week. You guys were kind of giving me shit. Some people liked all the math issues. I do that for I know what's going on. I have to write it out for Angelo. Now you guys understand why. Do you understand this?
What? The Bulls? Is that their three-peat? You're doing a three-peat here? Yeah, we did it.
Just me.
Well, I effed up.
I said boom, 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 and let me hear you say way-oh.
Way-oh. So here's that story. He was just, I don't know why, typing it in the chat, and then I was like, dude, that song's stuck in my head now. Growing up, my mom had this little trashy convertible, this little white trash convertible. And we would listen to that song on cassette tape in my mom's car, me and my little brother, on cassette tape in the car. And we were just listening to it over and over and over on repeat. We thought we were the coolest kids in the world. Meanwhile, it's this little white trash convertible. My mom's ripping cigarettes. We probably stunk like smoke. And it's just so funny because we thought we were so cool, and we were not cool.
Angelo, can we see your tits?
There we go. This guy's banned from the chat, by the way. You had your story when you thought you were cool and you weren't?
I don't think I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
That whole moment was to set up my story because they know my story is going to be better than your story. And then I just like, no thanks. Yeah, my moment like that, I was going to tell Angelo this was the time that I look back on now. I was like, that's so stupid. But in the moment, I felt like I was on top of the fucking world. Was spring break, like I think it was my sophomore or junior year. So you go with the family down to Destin, right? But I was old enough to drive, so my mom would let me take her Honda Pilot. Like, me and my friend could go drive wherever. And there was this outlet mall in Destin. If you've been in Destin, you know what I'm talking about. It's not a huge outlet mall. So I had my mom's Honda Pilot, windows down, seat back. And me and my friend just drove back and forth. It's an outlet mall. There's just one side to look at. So literally, it's just it's like 2 minutes to get across. So we were just driving back and forth. And what we were blasting was right before spring break that year, the Usher Confessions CD came out, which is a fucking banger CD, but it's not even like rap, like boom. It's like, these are my confessions. And it's just me and my friend and my mom's Honda Pilot cruising around a fucking outlet mall. These are my confessions. Just when I thought it was fucking incredible. And in the moment, I was like, oh, I'm fucking busted right now, dog. They're fucking everyone looking at me and shit. And you got to remember, too, 16, 17 years old, I was literally 5'4", 100 pounds in this Honda Pilot. These are my confessions.
It is funny how stupid teenagers are, and they just think they're so cool too.
Everything, everything you thought was cool, and then you look back, you're like, Jesus Christ.
I mean that's not wrong. It wasn't just Jakey Boy that had a phenomenal UFC Seattle. The artificial intelligence did as well. The artificial intelligence went 10-2 on picks. It picked an 83% accuracy. The only two picks it missed were Jacob's Lock of the Week and Ricky Simone, which was basically Jacob's Lock of the Week. 10-2. So don't forget, I don't talk about the AI that much. I just mentioned in passing. It's there. It's crushing it. You can see the AI under official picks. We also had the best DraftKings ownership on planet Earth because the product that we offer is a well-rounded product with multiple prongs of insight, information, and tools. One of those tools is the Fight Simulator. This is brand new, brand spanking new. We released it 4 events ago. It has only existed for 4 events, and all 4 of those events have been fruitful for the people that have been using it. The Fight Simulator takes the fights on the card. It takes all sorts of historical information, implied probability, grappling, striking, all that information, and then it simulates the fights 100,000 times, and it spits out the data. And then you can use that data to build DraftKings fantasy lineups or whatever you want with. Here's just some comments and some emails and everything else that we got from people over the last few events that use these. Every single event, I get some sort of message or ticket or tag that's like, I used it. It worked out for me. The Fight Simulator is included in premium, as is the data analyzer. A lot of people want to come here and copy-paste bets. We have a super chat from a very clear Make-A-Wish kid, and it says, Angelo has been coughing blood. What is that about? Thanks for the super chat, Jacob. Appreciate it. Anyway.
Oil up your tits, please.
Okay. Did somebody... All right. People are going to start getting...
Are you going to do the other super chat?
I wasn't going to do any until the end. I usually do them all at once, but here we go. $5 from Jake Korach. Jacob looking like DX era Triple H. Love
What's
it.
DX stand for?
is Generation X. I grew up in this country, basically. Okay. Would you guys body slam me through a table if I flew to Texas? Well, Jacob probably can't pick you up, but I would gladly do it. You heard him. 5'4", 110 pounds.
That's a key. That's a key.
All right. Well, some of you just want to copy-paste bets and move on with your life and get rich by copying somebody else's work. Other people want to deep dive, dig, do their own research, refuse to buy picks and bets. Well, for those people, what I have for you is the Data Analyzer, by far the greatest research tool ever designed. In one single tool, on one screen, you have every fighter you could ever want, all of their historical fights and data. You can watch those fights if you want to do your tape study. You can see every single data point they've ever had, and then you can filter the data points. I want to see how many takedowns this person gets in decision wins. And then you can go to your sports book, see what the takedown line is, and move on from there. What are we laughing at now?
Do you know you can thumbs up super chats now? The You Coughing Blood got 8 thumbs up.
I am not coughing blood. I am perfectly healthy. I even took a picture. I did have strep throat a little while ago.
Yeah,
and I even took a,
healthy. I remember getting that when I was fucking 6 years old.
And that's what happened. My kid had it, I got it. I even took a picture of the blood pressure machine as evidence that I was healthy. Evidence. You're also going to get more than just me and Skullet. You're going to get a couple of blokes from New Zealand, and here is that artificial intelligence. Every single person giving you their picks, their bets, their breakdowns for every single card, every single week. And every single thing that they do and all the tools I just mentioned are available in the app if you're watching this. Just download the app. You'll, at the very least, let's say you never use it for anything other than you will get push notifications. You're going to get those notifications to your phone about new content, bets that have been placed so you can get it before the lines move, whatever it is. Search We Want Picks in the App Store. It is available right now. And here's the 4 events you will get. If you sign up for premium membership right now, it's freaking $10. Everything I just ran through, a ton of other things I didn't run through because it takes too long and everybody complains. $10. You're going to get UFC Vegas 103. You're going to get UFC 313. Leon Edwards is UFC London, and you're going to get UFC Vegas 104. All of those events included. That's $2.50 an event. You cheap sons of bitches. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. And here's some new content for your boys. Jakey Boy has 2 new shows that he's putting out. The Prop Hunter is a brand new show. He puts it out. Actually, you even be able to do one this week?
It's not me.
Oh, we got this dude from Australia to do the prop bet show. Do you think he will be able to do it this week? Because you might be in Las Vegas. It doesn't matter.
I don't know his schedule, so I don't know.
Well, there we go. Well, that
He's
Australian,
been hot. I know that.
That Australian has been hot, and oddly enough, this thumbnail is from the UFC Seattle event, and you can see the bullseye is on a plus 900 prop bet. That video gave you 2 different plus 900 prop bets to look at, and both of those hit. So make sure you check out that video.
And the week before,
what'd you hit? Plus 600?
Plus 575 Nazim KO. And nearly hit the fucking Vince Morales second round submission,
yeah,
which was plus 1,600.
So Prop Hunter video is doing really well. It's getting a third of the views, actually less than a third of the
You're
views.
still on Grindr?
What's Grindr? Is it like a hero sandwich?
Angela, did you get your AIDS from your Grindr account? Looks like they found your Grindr account.
I don't know what that is.
Angelo,
check out the Prop Hunter video.
Denial like that just makes it look worse.
I know when we start new content, it takes a little while for you guys.
What's homosexuality? What is that? You mean there's guys liking guys? I've never even heard of that. That seems crazy. What is it? You call homosexuals?
Another new video is Jacob's full card breakdown. He used to do a long form breakdown like I had. And then one day he woke up and said, you know what doesn't exist? An actual quick picks video. So now he's blasting through these cards in like 8-9 minutes, giving you the picks and a cool different format where he's giving you their paths. What are you calling it? The paths to victory? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Keys to victory.
Keys.
Just like when fighters are making the walk and that DC gets that little quick hit of each fighter, keys to victory, boom, boom, boom. He's got to do this, this, this. You know, they do that before NBA games, NFL games as well. Like, what do they need to do to win? I do that for each fighter. So I give you a little bit of, I'm not just making a pick and telling you why this person's going to win. I'm saying this person could win if they do this person can win if they do this, but I think they're going to do this, and I think I'm going to fucking die, I'm a rock.
All right, and he does it all in just a couple of minutes, and then I've got a new video as well. Me and Josh Thompson, former world champion, do quick-ish 10-minute videos on a specific topic. The other topic we did the other day was Henry Cejudo's eye. Tomorrow we're going to film who should be fighting Justin Gaethje. So all new content. Check it all out. You people love the current content, which is amazing. Now I need you to watch some of these other ones, especially that Prop Hunter, that full card breakdown. 2 very brand new concepts in this space. And finally, UFC 313 is next weekend. We will be filming a vlog, as I do, for all pay-per-view events. If you want to send something for the vlog, I've already gotten the wildest package we have ever gotten. I've already gotten it. You'll see it in the vlog. And if you want to send something, whether it's a letter, something insane like you're about to see from somebody from Maine, the address is We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. We do have a very important super chat that's probably going to stay up the remainder of this video. Whoa, oh, never mind. I thought that said Angela. Whoa, Jacob looking like a sexy stud. My go. Hey, hi, Ange.
Blood. There's that blood coming up.
Appreciate you, Billy.
What color are we seeing here?
What? On your face?
No, my hair. It doesn't look red. I see red on my beard, but...
Who said your hair was red? Did I just do that to you? Am I just calling you a ginger and not even realizing it?
Everyone calls me a ginger, and I just want to make sure everyone
knows. It's the beard.
That.
Yeah, it's the beard that does it. The beard's red. I mean, that you have to admit.
I think it's Auburn.
Sure. Are we ready to break down this card? 17-minute intro. We've had worse.
Well, then let's just, let's talk about this asteroid coming up, because I think people are starting to grow concerned, and I think there is justification in their concern. Is it going to hit? Is it not going to hit? I know it's going to hit in, like, the southern hemisphere, so obviously America's kind of out of danger for now, but I think we got to stay concerned and stay diligent. Now they're talking about it might hit the moon. What's it going to do to the moon? Hopefully, it takes crater impacts all the time, but... it's 2032 and it seems far off, but I think it's time to really start planning because it's not really.
What is it? 2025? How old will I be? That's 8 years from now. I'll be 50.
You're not going to be. You're not. You don't. This is not for you. You're not going to.
I won't be 50. Actually,
but
I won't
it's
even
not even the destruction that it's going to do. It's going to be the panic that it causes to global economies. So you got to start planning for that as the time leading up because the chances have already doubled in the past. Whatever it's been, it's like a 1 in 33 chance that it hits. And
it's not a 1 in 33. Oh, sorry, my bad. 1 in.
You want to
33.
raise your fucking voice to me again?
I heard that as a 33%.
And let's just find out what happens all together, right? You ever raise your voice to me like that again?
We found out on February 9th, 2024. We found out.
Let's just see what happens after you try to do that one more time.
We found out on February 9th, 2024. We recorded it, and it's available for the world to see. Just search The Fight. We Want Picks.
But I think it's important to be prepared, guys. It's gonna be here before you know it, and the financial and the world markets are gonna start reacting as those probabilities go up. So,
all right, well, then get those bets in now. Let's go ahead and break down this card. We did have a little bit of an order shuffle. Just a few hours ago, Charles Johnson was supposed to open up the card. Then they moved it. They flippy flopped. Now we got Montana De La Rosa taking on Luana Carolina to open up the UFC Vegas 103 fight card. Montana De La Rosa, 13-9 in her career, 2-3 in her last 5. She's coming off that close win over Andrea Lee. She's taking on Luana Carolina, 11-4 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She is riding a 3-fight win streak. Montana, we've broken down many times before. Tough wrestler. Pretty straightforward game plan. Move forward, strike a little bit, try to get these fights in.
And I hate interrupting, especially this early in the podcast, because I'm all about speed. But I got a message on Twitter, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or not wrong, that said you described Montana De La Rosa as the best-looking female in the UFC.
I said she sneakily could be the best-looking female in the UFC because
and just correct me if I'm wrong, but Jessica Andrade is still in the UFC. Right? Because I think she's got a fight coming up. Okay.
I believe she is, yes. Okay. I believe so.
I just want to make sure. That's what I just want to clarify that. So.
Yep. No. Claire. Very clear. Luana Carolina. Oh, no. I'm still on Montana. She's got me all foggy-headed. She's a wrestler. And not an MMA wrestler. Not somebody who decided to wrestle later in life. A wrestler. Started as a wrestler. Only wrestled. Then worked in the MMA. So you're going to get good entries. You're going to get good scrambles. You're going to get good takedowns. They're not sloppy. They're not the BJJ takedowns where you kind of like grab a hip and try to step over a leg. They're real shots. She'll come forward and she will work in the wrestling. If she cannot get her hands going and can't get the striking going, it's going to be a problem because shooting from far away doesn't work nearly as well as when you set it up with the strikes. And then obviously, if she can't get the grappling going and she has to rely entirely on her hands, it's really going to come down to the matchup. And this is going to be a tricky one because she's taking on Luana Carolina. Luana is a striker, solid base, good takedown defense. She's not the most technical person in the division, but she does have good clinch work, nice knees, nice elbows. She's got an awkward striking style, so it can be hard to read and figure out where she's going to be. You take that with the takedown defense of 74%, and she can be somebody a little tricky to get to the ground. She's coming off that decision win over Lucy Pudilova, where the striking was absolute light years ahead, and she was able to defend half of those takedowns. I like Montana. I'm a Montana fan. I'm always a fan of actual real-life, real-world wrestlers. Jasmine has been a cash cow for us at this channel. But I think this is going to be a little tricky for Montana.
Jasmine?
As in Jazzy DeVicious? She's a real-life wrestler. Did you not pay attention to anything I said before that?
No, I just heard she's been a cash cow, and I'm like, that makes sense.
She's been in multiple safety parlays.
Winning, I thought Angela trying to keep up. I thought you were talking about Montana De La Rosa.
I was comparing her to another dominant wrestler is what I was doing there. The game plan here is going to be pretty straightforward for Luana. Stay standing. And I do think she can do that. I think she can keep this fight on her feet, get her hands going, and then I think that if there's a couple of failed takedowns on the Montana side, it's just going to continue down that path. So I am going to pick Luana Carolina. Obviously, the over 2.5 in this and most other women fights is as close of a lock as you're going to get. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I think Montana's going to get the takedowns. Even if she doesn't get the takedowns, I think she can do enough in the striking to keep it close enough until she does end up getting a takedown. Because Luana is a girl. Go ahead and finish whatever the fuck you're doing.
No, go ahead.
Nah.
No, go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, we will sit here.
I did what I needed to do.
Cough drops, huh?
No. I promise. No.
Not cough drops. You just really got a craving, huh?
We're good. Go ahead.
Craving can't itch. You just, What is it?
Okay. No, nothing. It's nothing. Go ahead.
No, I'm a little concerned.
It's nothing. I just was cleaning up my office.
Yeah. Just cleaning up the office, middle of the breakdown. Just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your dog okay? Is it for the dog? Do you need to give it to the dog?
I wouldn't mind if the dog got it, to be honest with you. But go ahead.
Now I'm curious beyond belief.
We're just gonna go ahead.
Are you about to like rat poison yourself or? So I don't know what's a.
Can you just break down your half of this fight, please?
This would be over already if you would just show us what's in your hand.
I'm trying to live my life.
Seems a little sensitive about the subject. Yeah, Luana can definitely do enough to win this fight if it stays standing. I don't think it's going to, but even the stand-up, what I think her downfall is going to be Angelo unsent a message. Okay.
I didn't mean to text that to you. I meant to text Tiffany to feed the dog.
Okay. These are the distractions I deal with. Angelo texts me in the middle thing, so I think he's going to tell me about what's in his hand. Then he unsends the message. And you guys think you think it's my fault that this thing goes off the fucking rails. I'm the only one that keeps us in line. I don't know what's going on at this point. Luana is just too wild. I think the wildness is going to give Montana De La Rosa more opportunities, especially than she's had in her past few fights. Because she's fought some, high-level competition. So it's not like she's losing to, like, just absolute bums or whatever. So I think she's going to get the takedowns. I think she's going to win the fight.
Yeah, so we're on opposite sides of this one. And if that's the way it goes, I get it. I just feel like Luana, I think the striking gap is wider than the grappling gap, which is why I'm on the Luana side. I think we both agree over 2.5 is about as close to a sure thing as you can get on a card like this. Okay, I'd love to bet you any amount of money.
Remember last week? You're like, oh, $100. I'm like, $500. You're like, I'm not doing 500. So then I was just like, all right, I'll give you 500 if Costa loses, and then you're gonna give me 250. And you're like, wow, 2-1 odds. What an idiot. And then you fucking lost your dick. You want to just bet that 250 straight up? I'll give it back to you on this, but you got to give me fucking 750 if this ends inside the distance, and that's still better odds than the books would give me.
I'll do 250 straight up.
Straight up. What a fucking plus 450 fucking. It would be plus 450.
Oh, you're talking about the line. Okay. I'll do.
Oh, you want to bet the fight? I'll do the fight straight up, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Nah.
Yeah, dude, let's do the 250.
I'll
give you your 250 back.
That's a lot of money for me.
Stupid. I mean, come on.
We'll circle back. Maybe we disagree somewhere else. Well.
Oh, I know. We can double it down on the next fight, and we'll make it a little twofer.
Oh, I'm not going to do that there. We'll okay. $8,300 for DraftKings Fantasy Luana Carolina. I don't think she will be worth the money. The only one here that could be worth the money is Montana if she can get the grappling going. It's 5 points per takedown. And if you're wondering what the hell I'm even talking about, what those giant price tags are at the top of the screen, that's DraftKings Fantasy. It's like fantasy football, fantasy baseball. You draft a team within a budget. You take that team, you compete against other people. We have a whole suite of tools that will not only help you draft a team, it'll do it for you and give you everything you need to win those competitions with other people. You can unlock that, the picks, the bets, and everything else right now. It's $10 for an entire freaking month. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. At the very least, it just supports your boys.
I said a boom, boom, boom. And let me hear you say, way-oh.
Well, I got fancy with it. Shouldn't have gotten fancy with it.
Someone said, is that an awesome tribal tat?
It literally is. Yeah. Who said that? Because it is.
Self-made Sam.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Ooh, wrong arm.
Oh, do this next time.
Sick. It goes everywhere, too. Yeah, it's sick.
Do this next time.
Because I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. Don't even know what side of the fucking tattoo's on.
Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we've got Charles Johnson taking on Ramazan Temirov. Charles Johnson, 17-6 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding a 4-fight win streak. He's taking on Ramazan Bek.
That doesn't mean shit to you, does it?
Temirov, 18-2 in his career. 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off a successful UFC debut. We've broken down Charles a few times. He's also been on this show, so incoming biases from one of us. Charles Johnson's a busy technical striker. Decent takedown defense. Good hand speed. Really busy guy at 5 significant strikes per minute output. He can keep that pace for a full 15 minutes. He is 6-4 in the UFC, but if you look at the 4 losses, it's all 2 people that turned into non-stop wrestlers against him. He's one of the most active fighters on the UFC roster towards the end of last year. I think he literally was the most, even though they kept telling everybody that it was Alex Pereira. He's coming off that win over Sumanderji, where we saw the power and the offensive wrestling. He's taking on Ramazan Bek Temirov. This guy's a lightning-fast striker. He's got little legs, just an itty-bitty little guy. But he's got crazy power, incredibly fast, no issues moving forward to try to find that knockout. He's creative on the feet. He'll mix in powerful overhand spinning back kicks. You're not going to see much in the way of wrestling from him, but the takedown defense looks pretty decent from what we can tell so far. He's got some dog in him. It doesn't take a ton of tape study to see him just like get rocked, but then push through it and make something happen. He is coming off that UFC debut win over CJ Vergara. This should be a really fun fight. The odds are now dead even. You can see the line movement here. Charles was the favorite. It full flipped the other way. Just a few days ago, Ramazan was the favorite. And then now it's dead even money. And I understand the even. Charles has more ways to win. He's probably the more well-rounded fighter. He's got the cardio. He's got the high-level experience. Ramazan's somewhat new to the UFC. And he's an itty-bitty man. But you people love...
Say it with your chest when you say it, pussy.
You people love to tell me that my judging is wrong. Wrestling doesn't matter anymore, Ange. Nothing matters anymore. Damage is the only thing that matters, Ange. Gene Silva didn't win that fight, Ange. He did nothing with the takedowns. It's only damage that matters, Ange. And that little paper cut, apparently, that tiny paper cut on Matsumoto. On Jean Matsumoto's head is the only thing that matters. So, with that in mind, that damage, and trying to get damage is the only thing that matters, I think Ramazan can steal a close decision by moving forward and just bombing away like absolute crazy. Even if Charles lands more strikes, even if he gets a couple of takedowns. Vegas seemingly hates takedowns. You people, as in the commenters who tell me that my judging criteria is way off, also feel that wrestling doesn't matter. And if there's going to be any damage in here, I think it's Ramazan because he comes out hot throwing giant bombs. So I am going to slightly lean that side, pick that side because of the new scoring criteria where the only thing that matters is if you're throwing giant overhands at somebody. What do you think? Non-biased, normal haircut Jacob?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now that the books knew, listen, we're not going to get fucking smoked on CJ anymore. I mean, I could not believe that they opened him as a favorite. The way that they have disrespected him in the past, and then you have this 18-2 powerful blah, 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 Ramazan. I literally thought that Charles Johnson was easily going to be my lock of the week. I thought he'd be priced at like plus 150. But he wasn't because the books know, like, oh, shit, like, we can no longer fade this guy, Charles Johnson. Now, it got bet to where he flipped to a dog. Now it's about even money, whatever. I don't know what this guy does to Charles Johnson. I don't know what this guy, the regional just cocking a wild fucking right hand from back behind you, behind your hip, and just winging these wild shots. That works up to this point. Congratulations on getting to the UFC. That shit doesn't work against real fucking competition. And guess what Charles Johnson is? He's a top 10, a top 5, a title contender competition. He is going to sit there and just move and fucking laugh at this guy, at these big overhand rides, these big, he's just going to step off. He's going to be with the counter. He's going to be the much faster guy, the much longer, taller, rangier guys, fast striking, in and out footwork. You saw what he did to an experienced, very good boxer in Joshua Van. What the fuck is he going to do with this guy? He's going to start lighting his ass up, and then this guy is going to desperately start to try to wrestle. And if you try to desperately wrestle a guy like Charles Johnson, he's just going to flip you over. He's going to get on top of you. He's going to ground and pound. He's going to look for a submission. This guy is going to be swinging for the fences and missing, hitting nothing but fucking shadows in the first round. Try to desperately wrestle in the second round. He's going to get fucking submitted in the second round by Charles Johnson. He's going to fucking steamroll this guy.
Listen, I don't that's not a bad take. The only reason I'm on the Temirov side is it feels like the only thing these judges care about is who's trying to finish a fight. Whether they're close to it or not. Whether they're close to it or not.
Ain't gonna be no fucking judges. Ain't no guess it's what it's gonna be.
I'll be rooting.
What's that from?
I don't know.
Guess. There ain't no guess it's what it's gonna be.
Is that from the election movie there with Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell?
No. It's Waterboy.
That was a good guess.
What's her name says it when she gives the like interview her, and she's like, the final score is gonna be whatever, and she's like, and the guy's like, oh, what a guess or something like that. And she's like, guess. Ain't no guess is what it's gonna be.
Well, there you go. I'll be rooting for Charles Johnson. I just feel like the judges have been very finicky lately, and the only thing they care about is wild come forward strikes.
This guy is not surviving fucking 15 minutes with Charles Johnson with the fucking tenacity that he's bringing in this fight. He heard all that bullshit. The second that this fight leaked, that it was going to be, everyone's like, oh my God, Charles Johnson, why would he take this fight? He's going to get destroyed or whatever. And then it kind of fizzled out, and then it actually became a fight, and he heard the same bullshit again, like, oh my God, I can't believe he's going to fight this guy. Poor Charles Johnson. Oh, he's the first fight of the night. Poor Charles. He's heard all this stuff, and he doesn't complain about it. He goes about his business. He said, I got to earn it. That's his mentality. I fucking love the mentality. Make him, what does he say? He fucking be undeniable is what he says. And it's these type of fights where you fucking smoke a young prospect like this, and you're pretty fucking undeniable at that point for a top 10 opponent probably. So
no, for sure. Charles Johnson should win. He's the better fighter. He's obviously, like you said, he's more active. I think we have different. You think he's going to come forward, rather wrestle heavy game plan. I think he'll do what he does, which is just be the better striker. We've only ever seen him lose to nonstop wrestler. We haven't seen him lose to a striker yet. So this would be the first time. Again, I think it may come down entirely to what these judges think, but we'll go ahead and see what happens. $8,400 for Ramazan, $7,800 for Charles Johnson. Pick your side. I mean, that whoever you think wins will definitely cover their salary because I think
Don't
it's a
fucking pick Ramazan.
I don't think it's a dogfight. I think it's either Ramazan coming forward, bombing away like a psychopath, racking up points, or Charles Johnson doing what he does, which is just being way more technical, way more clean, and dotting up Ramazan the entire time. This should be a really fun fight.
Ramazan's going to look fucking stupid in there.
And he may. That's the problem with these unproven UFC prospects. If you do want to,
and I'll be there.
Jacob will be there live. Are you going to be wearing that? Tell them what that is. A lot of people might not even know what that is.
This is Charles Johnson's some of his merch. Skullet Gang. He's got the skull. His skull is looking fucking majestic lately. it's about as long as Austen. Skullet Gang's already 1-0. This last week we had Austen
Vanderford.
Van Zandt rocked the skull and fucking dominated, and so this is part of his thing. And he said that he was going to bring me a jersey too. He knew I was going to the fights. I'm going to support him and my dude Cody Brundage's. Those are my dudes, and he's bringing me one of his jerseys. So I'll probably have depending on when I get it, hopefully have the jersey on for his fight and celebrate afterwards.
Yeah, and Charles Johnson has sick merch. Definitely check that out. Like real good merch. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top if you want to check out the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else that we do. Full suite of anything you could ever want or need heading into a fight week. We do have a super chat from our boy, Gucci Gill. He said the Sudanese Salamander, a live stream on Saturday, ever again. Also, can y'all give me quick picks on Jasmine versus Andrade? Love from Kansas City. Thank you, Gucci. Well, you want to answer the first half of that? No, you will not be live streaming Saturday because you'll be in Vegas. Will you ever do it again? Was the second half of that question.
Nope.
And the quick pick. The quick pick for. It's probably hard to not do it and then get back into it because it's like 7 hours. Anyway, I don't do it. Jasmine Jasavicius for Jessica Andrade. Super quick pick.
Honestly, it was just fucking start of the year. Fucking shit. It's not fun to stream when you're not doing well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it. I get all fucking pissed off after. I couldn't imagine live dealing with it.
6 hours of people calling you a fucking idiot.
The internet's
and you got to sit there and be like, whoa, here's the next one, guys. Let's go. Positive vibes. Keep the energy up. Fuck it, man. Jesus.
The internet is wild, dude. People are fucking brutal online. It's crazy. Anyway, the second half of that question was Jasmine versus Andrade. I'm not going to give an official pick yet. My gut instantly was like Jasmine because Andrade can't defend takedowns. But then, like, Andrade isn't as bad as we pretend she is half the time. And all of a sudden, Andrade defends a few takedowns. She's just big, and she's not very big, but strong as hell, hitting on Jasmine in the face. And now it's like, you know, Jasmine can wrestle, but she's not Tatiana Suarez. That's the last
Thank
person
God,
sort of
she's
ragged
terrible.
And then we have a $1.99 super chat from B Willie 72. He said, we need MMA experts versus AJ, or MMA experts AJ versus Jacob in an MMA fight.
Never heard
Jacob
of him.
can't stand him.
Never heard of him.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Is your
Next
phone
up,
on? Hold on. What was that?
My phone is not on. I am getting text, but it's coming through my computer. You should be able to hear a thing.
Well, I
It's
just
like
heard two.
headphones.
Ding.
It's crazy that you can hear it because it's in my headphones. So I don't know how the hell. Well, anyway. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have Danny Silva taking on Lucas Almeida. Danny Silva, 4-1 in his last 5, 9-1 in his career overall. He is on a nice 3-fight win streak. He's taking on Lucas Almeida, 15-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that exciting win over Timmy Kwamba. And Lucas Almeida is a pretty fun guy to watch. He's a powerful striker. He likes to throw giant 1-2s. He'll come forward. He'll set up a big right hand. When he senses blood, he will literally drop his hands, march forward, and do whatever he needs to do.
We kind of look alike.
You and Lucas?
What do you think?
You don't look like either one of these gentlemen.
I think chat would disagree with you.
Definitely not Danny, if that's where you're going with this. That's out of the question.
if Lucas had Danny's skin complexion, that would be me.
yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Well, Lucas Almeida will hunt for that finish. He's aware enough to know that he's a striker, not a grappler. There are times where he will knock people down or end up in a scramble, end up on top, and literally just back out entirely and be like, nope, back to our feet. Takedown defense, not great at 50%. It is the biggest hole in his game. But he is coming off the decision win over Timmy Kwamba, where the striking looked pretty good. Taking on Danny Silva. Danny Silva is also a striker. Good, clean technique, plenty of movement. He likes to invest in the body early for a late payoff. He does get hit a ton. He gets hit way more than he hits his opponents, and that's crazy because he hits his opponents with 8 significant strikes per minute, and he has somehow hit more than that. He doesn't have much in the way of offensive wrestling, but he does have decent takedown defense and a good get-up game. He's not amazing at anything, but he's a decent striker. He can wear you down, and he can go to a decision. He's coming off that close win over Josh Kulibau, where all of a sudden, he did get some wrestling going. It should be a fun fight. I didn't really know what to do coming into this just at its surface, and then I watched their last fights, and I was like, man, Danny just worked in takedown. Out of nowhere, this guy's working in takedowns. And so now I'm leaning Danny because he does have the other way to win. He gets hit an absolute ton. He has no striking defense whatsoever. But if he can get his hands going offensively, work in a takedown or two, all of a sudden Danny can win this fight. This is a super, super close fight, and these odds are absurd. I don't know why he's a minus 180. Lucas Almeida is definitely a decent fighter. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, Danny Silva. If you guys didn't know too, I forgot to mention this before the card that this is like my lock of it's cool that I'm going to this card to support Charles and Cody specifically, but there are 6 former lock of the week winners on this card, and Danny Silva is one of them. Charles Johnson, Danny Silva, William Gomis, Esteban Ribovics, Chepe.
Who else? That's 2. No,
what are you 3. What are you doing?
I'm just organizing, man. Sorry.
See this when you move this mouse, there's a cursor on the screen that you'll see moving back and forth. Do you see it?
No.
Do you see the cursor on the screen? It's like a little arrow. It might be white or black. I don't know, depending on whatever. Get that cursor, and I want you to line it up. Do you see your cursor on the screen?
My cursor? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want you to put that cursor, let me make sure this is, yeah, it should be all right. Put that cursor like in the top, like right here of your window. Like in this corner of your window. The
dots?
Yeah, just up in those windows. Just put it right there. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want you to drag it all the way straight down through the screen, all the way to the bottom. You're going to see a button. What does that say?
Mute?
It says mute. Okay. What you're going to want to do is when you drag that down, when you click that button, you're going to...
Oh, hello?
Now you can hear me again.
Oh, okay.
So when you press that button, can you press that button for me? It's going to turn red. There, see? Now I cannot hear you. So if you're doing stuff, you can press that button and then...
All right, cool. My bad.
Danny Silva, former lock of the week. I know him well. This dude is all gas, no brakes. I mean, that is just the way he fights. He's a really good boxer. I agree. He does probably get hit a little bit too much. A lot of it's that peekaboo, bobbing style, and he'll eat those jabs. But a lot of it is just eating shots to make the reads, to throw those combinations. Because, I mean, you see that with boxers all the time, right? They show up in front of you. They let you hit. So you're absorbing shots, but you're not really absorbing shots. Then he comes with the counters. Really nice, tight boxing. And that's what he's got to do, is put his head in the fucking chest of Lucas Almeida, because Lucas Almeida did show some decent striking in his last fight, but it was a lot of the rangy stuff, the basic, 1-2s, and he does throw a nice right hand down the middle, and if Danny Silva's not careful and he's walking in trying to bob and weave and walks that right hand, Lucas Almeida has shown he's got power. He can hurt pretty much anybody. He was hurting Timothy at will in that fight. I don't know how it wasn't stopped a couple times, but Danny Silva will eat shots. He does get hit, but if he just keeps his head in the fucking chest of Lucas Almeida, keeps that pressure, he's going to break him down. He's going to get the boxing exchanges. And in those boxing exchanges, he can have some success with the combinations. I would recommend him extending a combination. I think that's where he's probably going to find Lucas. And also, too, if he gets his head in his chest, he's right there. He can grapple. He's got good offensive takedowns and wrestling as well. That's honestly what won him the last fight. He's a smart guy. He was losing the striking against Kulibao, went to the wrestling, was able to find that I think it was a split decision win. But he definitely won that fight. I mean, he was lock of the week, so there was no question he was going to fucking lose that fight. So he will go to the wrestling if he needs to. I don't know if he's going to need it. I think if he just stays in the chest, he can outbox this guy, wear him down, and find a finish in the second or third round because he really does not fucking stop. So I like Danny Silva.
And you're not, I mean, you talked about it quickly, but you're not worried about just how often that dude gets hit?
I said he gets a lot of it's just, I mean, they count it as strikes, but he shells up pretty well.
This should be a fun fight, though. I'm looking forward to it. One of the more exciting ones on the card for sure. And these odds flew. -110, -110. It opened up even, similar to how I looked at it at first. I ultimately went ahead and picked Danny because I was like,
-220 now.
Yeah, so it's flying. We have, I mean, this is like a theme, and maybe we should talk about it at some point. But these actually, all of 2025, we're seeing mid-level favorites turn into giant favorites. Like, odds on all of these cards are flying. And I don't know if it's just more and more people are betting and they're just sort of leaning on favorites or what, but we're seeing people on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, decent odds come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not Sunday, but Friday, Saturday, -600 out of nowhere. You have a theory? Just more people betting?
I had a sneeze. I got caught. And it, do you like that feeling? Sometimes that can be like have an orgasmic feeling. Like when you're about that.
Well, you try to force it and it disappears is when it's weird. You're like,
yeah, you're like,
nothing. Okay. All right. This got weird fast. All right. Hands up. Hands above the table. We're both on the Danny Silva side. $8,600 in DraftKings Fantasy for Danny Silva. And if he dominates this fight, that's obviously well worth the money, especially if he works in some takedowns. But this is a back-and-forth striking match. He may not be worth that salary. I'm a little bit on the fence there. I understand the Danny Silva side. I understand Jacob's point where he's a dog. He's going to move forward. He's not going anywhere. But Lucas Almeida is definitely decent as well. So I'm probably going to fade this as far as DraftKings Fantasy is concerned. Both of us picked Danny Silva. And if you do want to see where we do have bets.
Wait, you picked Danny Silva?
Yes. What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, he spent the whole breakdown talking about how he just gets lit up and Lucas looked great this last fight.
He does get lit up. And then I said, I just watched Danny Silva get 4 takedowns in his last fight. So now he has a backup plan when he's getting lit up. And Lucas Almeida's takedown defense sucks. That was the whole theme. Anyway, if you want to check out not only the picks and bets, but also the artificial intelligence, which just went 10-2 last weekend. You want to check out the DraftKings Optimizer, the Fight Simulator, which is a tool that will simulate fights 100,000 times. Yes, Sam. What happened when you and I were heads up on Austen Landford? Moron.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Get him.
Going. Yeah. Light him up. Light his ass up.
Kiwi.
Angelo. Yeah.
Chunk.
Ooh. Don't do it to him now. Don't you do it to him. Don't do it to him.
Window licker.
What?
A window licker? Like the dumb kid in the back
Angelo,
of like
I mean, some kids have disabilities and that. I mean, that is nothing to make fun of.
All right, well, there you go, Sam. There's your reprieve. Hey, become a premium member. It's $10. The greatest value in this space. It's undeniable. There's nothing on this planet that even resembles what we do, let alone for $10. And that's not an exaggeration. WeOwnPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We have a bunch of super chats. $4.99 from Chris Bigelow. Put $50 on Jacob's parlay of the week. I got faith in Charles Johnson for real. Thank you, Dan. I think he's talking about your underdog, the former lock of the week parlay. We appreciate you, Chris. $1.99 from B Willie 72. Jacob low-key scared. AJ would be a lock.
That little guy.
Hey, he fought that dude that one time. Remember he showed up on a stream and his eye was like swollen shut. And I like AJ. This is coming from a place of I like AJ. We've talked about I like AJ. But he showed up on a stream one time with his eyes swollen shut.
I fought a trained professional, walked out there with a little blood on my lip, and that was it.
And the whole narrative from AJ was literally, you should have seen the other guy. Like, that was literally it, which is just so funny. Yeah, I've smoked Jacob. $5 from Enema. Is that really Enema? Am I reading that right? Underdog got my drunk ass in the streets of St. Louis on Sunday for a $500 deposit. She was bad. Former lock of the week lineup. Who kills it? Does he mean who blows it? Well, Jacob's not going to tell you that. He believes in them all.
She was bad.
Underdog got my
drunk ass in the streets of St. Louis.
This is very hard to follow.
A $500 deposit. She was bad. Is that? You're eating some sort of fucking cake or something. What the fuck?
Okay.
Is that a Butterfinger?
I'm not eating.
What the fuck are you eating? And it went on the floor and you didn't, I mean, there wasn't a second thought about, ooh, my feet are down there all day. The dog lays down there. The dog shits in the yard, runs around, steps in shit. There was not 1 second of thought that maybe I should leave this. Maybe I should leave this alone. It was that. We all got to know now.
I'm not eating anything. I'm just enjoying my time with my friend. That's what I'm doing here.
Angelo has a problem. I agree. I think he does.
Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have Andrea Lee trying to keep away one of the worst losing streaks on the active roster, and she's trying to do so against JJ Aldrich. Andrea Lee, 13-10 in her career. She is on an unbelievable 5-fight losing streak. Taking on JJ Aldrich, 13-7 in her career, 2-3 in her last 5. She's coming off that decision loss to Veronica Hardy. And listen, Andrea Lee has lost 8 of her last 10 fights. But I promise you,
Jesus Christ,
it is tough. I mean, that is tough.
Jesus Christ. I think Sam Alvey lost 7 in a row. I don't think he even lost 8 of 10. I think it might have been 7 of 10.
8 of 10 is crazy that she's had that long of a leash, per se, like contractually speaking. Like, yeah, we'll re-sign her.
I'm not even laughing at you. I'm laughing at the super chat.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. She lost 8 of her last 10, but I promise you she's actually a good fighter. She's a dynamic striker. She does a really good job with just the basics, 1s and 2s, nice kicks. She averages almost 2 offensive takedowns per fight. She's got a positive striking differential, even though she has fought basically everybody good in this division. The takedown defense can use a little bit of work, but it's a little over 50%. The striking is clean. She can have pure success in a striking match. She is on a 5-fight skid, but before you've decided that her career has fallen off a cliff, if you just look at those losses, I get it now. I got it. Got it. Was it that loud? If you look at the losses, they're good losses to good fighters. She's taking on JJ Aldrich. JJ Aldrich is like decent everywhere. Decent striker, good takedowns, good top pressure. She fights within that skill set, so she's not going to go crazy hunting for a finish when she knows that she's a decision fighter. She does have a negative striking differential. She does rely on volume to try to get these wins. She's not very dangerous. And she is coming off that loss to Veronica Hardy, where she was rushing forward a little recklessly and just eating big shots on the way in. So
Angelo's
first of all,
wife must have him on a strict diet to be sneaking food on stream. That's a desperate man.
Andrea Lee is on that very unfortunate losing skid. And if you're watching this to be like,
are you about to put another in your mouth mid? Like you already set up, you're putting another in your mouth.
The microphone.
Somebody did say it was an edible microphone. And you're definitely holding it like it is.
Andrea Lee is a good fighter. I promise you. I'm about to pick her to win here. Before, I should warn you, don't bet on this fight. Like, it's crazy to bet on. Don't bet on this. You can't. JJ's unbelievably unreliable. Andrea Lee's on this 5-fight losing skid. But those odds, plus 180 is like looking real good, man. I think Andrea Lee wins this fight. I think JJ is going to come in, get outstruck, and that's it. And even if you don't think Andrea wins this fight, how can you bet on JJ? She's so unreliable. People saw her at minus 190 and they're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And moved her all the way to minus 210. She's so unreliable. I am picking Andrea Lee. I haven't looked at the plus 3.5. If those are anywhere near reasonable, I'm going to bet that. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I'll give you your $250 back. You only have to give me $100. I got
get
JJ
Andrea?
and you got Andrea.
Deal.
JJ's probably going to win this fight. I don't know if she's going to dominate this fight. She's probably just going to clinch and hold, and it's going to be boring, and it's going to be a close fight, but JJ's going to find a way to win this fight.
That's it?
Yeah.
You bet $250 and your analysis is maybe, probably?
I just want to get a little fire. I just want a little juice, a little flame on this action.
Okay.
I don't really care about this fight. I'll probably be eating chicken gumbo in the VIP section. But this one. So, but when I hear that, that announcer say, winner by split decision, JJ, I'll know I'm $100 richer, and I'll give it straight I'll throw it right in the tip jar for the beautiful men and women that work at the Apex. They're great. They're great people there. It's only a 2-man commentary team this week. First time since 2022.
I saw that.
But Anik at the Apex. Hopefully, I can sneak a picture with him somehow.
Anik is sweet. Well, they do all have to walk through that same area. Like Michael Bisping was right next to us when we went last time.
Wow, did you touch him?
No.
Did he see you?
No, I was on the
Even with one eye, he can see
one eye side. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing.
What are you eating? Just say it.
I'm not eating anything. I'm living.
Chicken and gumbo is saying, it was chicken jambalaya, wasn't it? It wasn't gumbo. What was it last time we were there?
I don't know, but I had like 100 shrimp. And then you fill up on that stuff, and they did a whole second passing of new foods that weren't out there the first time around. Remember they had the nachos and the sliders, the sloppy joes?
Yeah, whatever that chicken was, that chicken and rice and whatever it was.
Yeah,
I was fucking chowing down on that. I was fucking hungry.
One person in the comments figured out what I'm eating. If you do want to become a premium member and support my eating habits...
Did you hear about its Girl Scout cookies?
They're tag-alongs. They're so fucking good.
Dude, Joe Rogan did a thing with the specialist about how they're like literally Girl Scout cookies. I'm not even... This is going to sound like I'm making it up. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. It's like literally they did tests on them, and it's like the most toxic food you could ever eat. I swear to God. I swear to God. I don't know if that's a new episode or whatever, but I saw a clip come through my TikTok or whatever. That it literally is like the most toxic. The Thin Mints specifically are like the really bad ones, but they're all like the most toxic. Like the levels are off the charts for like toxicity in a food.
Well, tag-alongs are so fucking
Look
good.
at the chat.
This whole sleeve's going to get devoured.
Look at the chat. I'm being serious.
Why would the chat know? I can't trust these people.
Literally like metal particles they're finding in like the fucking it's like wildly bad.
Do the girls make them? Is it child labor? Couple of super chats. $1.99 from Gucci Kai. Still here watching. Hyped for Angelo's safety parlay and lock of the week. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. $5 from Humble Reaper. Still can't stand these guys. I hate Ange. But what the fuck am I reading? But premium won me money again. Spend the money if you're going to listen to Angelo's heavy breathing anyway. I'll fucking take it, you pussy. Gucci Gill. Could Jacob give my woman courtesy? Nope. I was about to read, could Jacob give my woman courtesy sex? I was like, what? That's how far Jacob has come? But it says, would Jacob give my woman Courtney a sexy shout out? Go ahead. Tell Courtney what's up. Hold on.
Last time I did that, there was a guy that apparently did not like that. I tell you what, somebody fucking. You're just gonna ignore all the medical advice I just gave you. You heard the most toxic thing. Literally, he said it's like one of the most toxic things you could ever eat out on the market, and you were like.
I need to see the reports. I'll do my own research.
What were we talking about?
You need to give Courtney a sexy shout out.
Oh, yeah, because there was some guy that just randomly wrote on my quick pick video, don't like this video, not going to watch it. So I was like, this is a true story. He ended up deleting the comments, or somebody deleted comments. I don't know who it was, but I assume.
It wasn't me.
I I see a comment on my quick pick video, and I was reading the comments because it's kind of a new style, and the guy comments, "Don't like this video, not gonna watch it." So I was like, well, that's kind of a random comment. So all I commented back was, "I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight." You know, being a little sarcastic, like, "Oh, thanks for the comment. I'm that worried about it or whatever." I honestly did cry myself to sleep, but his next comment,
but out of fear for what came next.
Well, his next comment was something to the effect of, "Oh, Mr. Disrespect, I'm tired of disrespecting you." That's 100% serious.
I know.
He said a few months ago, so this guy's been stewing on this for like a few months or whatever. He said a few months ago I made a comment that that me and my wife watch your show and we think it's funny and we appreciate what you do, and you made some snide remark on stream that you were gonna fuck my wife or something like that, and I can't take that level of disrespect or something like that. I'm like, dude, it's just like I'm just joking. Just like Gucci, he just fucking donated and said, "Can you say something to my sexy wife or whatever?" It's like, now I'm getting in trouble for this because I was just joking around like, "Oh, I bet she does watch these streams. I'm going to fuck this shit out of her." Like, what the fuck? You think I'm being serious? And this guy who's been stewing on it and wrote this like long paragraph of being like, "And I know that you go through events, and the second that I see you at an event, I'll take an assault charge for you. And if you have friends with you, don't worry, my boys will be with me to jump into, and I'll gladly do that for disrespecting me and my wife." And this is out of fucking nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? You've been stewing on this for 3 fucking months. You wrote a comment, "I'm not watching this video. I said I'm gonna cry myself to sleep as a joke, and now I'm getting fucking assaulted at the next event I go to because you can't take a fucking joke. What are we doing?"
It is funny.
And the first thing I said that I wanted to write was, "Guess what, motherfucker? I go to the Apex and VIP. You can't fucking touch me in there, sweetheart. You're not going to the Apex, right? You're not sitting in VIP. Then you're going to be watching for the VIP. Get it out. Come here. Come here. Come here. Fight me." It's a joke, dude. Fucking relax.
Well, but the best part about all of it was an unsolicited negative feedback on your new format instantly became, "I'm going to beat your ass."
And it wasn't just like a off the handle one comment. He tripled down like 6 times, calling me Mr. Disrespect, and you always disrespecting me. And now I got fucking Gucci Gill, trying to get me in trouble again. Can you give my woman Courtney a sexy shout out? Yeah, fucking Courtney. Hey, baby. I'll tell you what, I know you probably had a good Valentine's Day. But Valentine's Day 2026, sweetheart, it's going to be me. It's going to be you. It's going to be some shrimp. Because guess what? When I eat the shrimp, I swell up, baby. I'm going to swell up for you. I'm going to fucking swell up. Now I'm in trouble.
I swear. Relying on swelling to pleasure.
Now I'm in trouble.
You need it to swell to really have any impact whatsoever. Purposely.
I'm gonna swell for you is like if that's not a pickup line, I don't know what is.
I am willing to eat this seafood and swell in places I don't even know, just to pleasure you.
That's what it is. But I can't say stuff. That's what I want to say, but I can't say stuff like that anymore.
Jesus Christ. I think we're 1 hour into this. We've done 2 fights. All right. Whew. Jacob has an 8-minute quick pick video every week. If you don't like this, watch that. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we got the man with 4 names, Douglas Silva de Andrade, taking on John Sexy Mexi Castaneda. Douglas Silva de Andrade is 29-6 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. Finally starting to show his age. Taking on John Castaneda, 21-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that one-sided loss to Daniel Marcos. Douglas Silva de Andrade is built like a bowling ball. Fights like 1-2.
I don't know why that was so funny. Derek said, "Incredibly funny per usual. Keep up the great work, guys."
Why'd you read it in a nerd voice? Because he said incredibly?
I don't know. It's just a funny comment.
Yeah. Douglas Silva de Andrade is built like a bowling ball. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's just like rock solid. He's got a head like a brick. His body's solid. He's hard to take down. He's hard to hurt. He is old. He is slowing down. He doesn't really initiate offensive wrestling very often. He actually wants to fight a boxing match inside the pocket. But if he ends up on the ground, he's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got decent scramble skills. And he's just tough as nails. He's not somebody you're just going to bully, push around, knock down, or have a lot of trouble with. He's taking on John Sexy Mexi Castaneda. He's incredibly fun to watch. A former Division II college wrestler. He comes forward, punches and bunches, mixes in some takedowns every now and never stops. Just lots of cardio, lots of forward pressure, lots of movement. Wide variety of strikes. He is coming off that loss to Daniel Marcos where he just really couldn't get the hands going, couldn't compete with Daniel on that side of things. This fight is far closer than these odds. I get John Castaneda being a favorite, right? He's younger. He'll be a little faster. He's pretty diverse. He can mix in the wrestling and the striking, move forward, nonstop, crazy pace, all that. I get that. But if he's going to come out here guns blazing, thinking he's just going to get rid of Douglas Silva, thinking he can finish him, that's not going to happen. So we're going to need 15 full minutes of forward pressure and cardio, and John's going to need to start to exploit the age and the speed difference here because Douglas Silva de Andrade is durable as shit.
Housekeeping.
And he'll just be there the whole time. So I am going to pick John Castaneda. I do think he'll move forward. I think he will win this fight. But if all of a sudden, a little too much too soon, slows down a little bit, Douglas Silva could just randomly take over. I mean, he's definitely good even in his advanced age. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'll give you a little glimpse into my quick pick video. 2 of the things that I told John Castaneda that he needs to do, keys to victory. One of them Angelo kind of already mentioned is number 1, don't assume a knockout. Don't come in assuming, like, if I land this shot, I can get this guy out of here. Assume that you're not going to get this guy out of here, okay? Because I don't want you swinging heavy and then you start getting backed against the fence because we've seen John sometimes will get it back against the fence tired, and that's when people can start hitting him. And if Douglas Silva de Andrade, I don't care if he's 8 years old, 39, I don't care if he's 49, he's still going to hit fucking heavy, and you don't want to get hit by this guy. So assume that you're not going to knock this guy out. And the second thing I think is the most important thing is assume you will not get a takedown. Because if you go into this fight thinking, oh, I can take this guy down, I can wrestle, if I get in trouble, I can wrestle, or the game plan, if your game plan is to wrestle, and then you can't wrestle, and you're not really ready for the striking, that's going to be a fucking problem. Assume that you're not going to get a takedown. If you do, I'm not saying don't shoot takedowns, right? You still got a level change, and you might be able, but assume that you're not going to be able to, because if you come in assuming that you are, and you're not, it's going to be a bad issue because this guy is a hard guy to take down. You probably can take him down, but just assume that you're going to be striking with this guy for 15 minutes, point. He doesn't have a lot of activity, so if you just kind of dance around, do the boxing thing, you know, the use of the law. But I had a funny moment with, I need to tell that. I want to tell that story after this.
Yeah.
Pause?
No, after this. Oh, show it. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, I think Sexy Mexi's the better fighter. He just got to, come up with a smart game plan, and he should get this. But if he just comes in, just spams 5 takedowns in the first 3 minutes and doesn't get them, it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's definitely 3-1 seems a little wide for these odds, but if they're just
and Douglas, I don't know if it was the shaved head last fight, but he started to finally look a little bit older.
Yeah.
In that last fight. And John, I mean, he lost to Daniel Marcos. He got clipped a couple times, but Daniel Marcos, he's a good fighter. So,
I completely agree. I think this is an interesting fight card. Interesting matchup here. I'm looking forward to it. It's young versus old, and we're finding out a lot of these guys can fight a little later into their careers. Even Henry Cejudo. Yeah, he lost the eye poke, all that controversy. We talked about that in one of the videos, but
you're not going to say he looked good.
He took a round. It was 2-1. You take a point away with that eye poke, we got a draw. And there's a 15-year age gap there. Either way, John Sexy Mexi Castaneda, $8,900 in DraftKings Fantasy. If you think he gets a whole bunch of takedowns, wildly active, never stops, he looks like a little Marab, actually same size Marab, then yeah, that $8,900 is going to look pretty good. But if you think it's kind of a point fight matchup, a lot of pitter-patter, moving around, staying busy, I don't think he is going to be worth it.
Sexy Mexi in the Lock of the Week parlay. He's a former Lock of the Week winner.
Who did he fight? Miles Johns?
I think it was Miles Johns, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else we do, you can do so in the app if you'd like. And here's a look. We just got a push notification. We just got a push notification on the app right now. Must have been web guy Josh. It says new DraftKings content. Price Point Picks article for UFC Vegas 103 is now available. You click on it. It's going to go ahead and open the app. It'll take you right to that.
Oh, Billy.
And you're good to go. Here's the notification inside the app, and I'm going to do DK Slate Sleuth. It'll take me to that, and then I can go ahead and get all the things. WeWantPicks.com. Become a premium member. It's $10 an entire month, or just download the app in the App Store. Search We Want Picks.
So here's the story.
Wait.
Because I literally almost forgot to tell it.
Right,
yeah, do those real quick. No,
There's only one. $5 super chat from Dewari Zukamefa. He was clarifying the AJ thing because I said he got into a fight, and all he said was, you got to see the other guy. He said a bouncer grabbed AJ's brother. AJ hit a flying knee on him. The bouncer took them both out back, and he jumped them 4 or 5 on 2. Love the channel. Thanks for the $5.
Me and Angel could handle 4 or 5. 40 or 50. How many, like, what is it, like 10-year-olds do you think you could fight off? When would it be too many, do you think?
10-year-olds are not small.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 3. I would struggle with 3.
5.
Probably.
I could beat up 5. Like 10-year-olds are like, they're not nothing.
They're mature.
Assholes.
Is that what you're going to say?
10-year-olds
are much more mature than you think.
And they can make decisions. 10-year-olds can make informed decisions. They can think on their own.
Anyway. So I got a message today. So if you guys didn't know, Lock of the Week is already out. And I guess I can spoil it now, but it's Cody Brundage. And I made him a video. It's the first time I've done a video in a few weeks. Made him a highlight video. It's a pretty cool video. It's on my Instagram. It's on the Lock of the Week or whatever. And obviously, Yusef's Law is part of that camp, and I'm boys with Yusef. So Yusef sent me a message today that said, bro, that's crazy. Your boy never got a highlight video with like some eye emojis like he's wanting a highlight video. Obviously, Lock of the Week is fucking for underdogs, right? So I said, you want a highlight video? You got to lose like 3 fights in a row or head to 155 for the Ilya rematch so you're a dog again. I'm like, it's not my fault. You're too fucking good to be a dog. Like, what do you want from me? The guy is minus 500, minus 300, minus 500 in his last 3 fights. I said, last time you were a dog was on the Rebus card, and well, you ain't Rebus, baby. And he had sent some laughing emojis. Then I thought about it, and I was like, actually, there's already a highlight video of Yusef on the internet, right? Because everyone's kind of giving him shit about his last fight. So I said, here's your highlight tape, Yusef. And it's Forrest Gump. I said, here's your highlight tape, and it's just Forrest Gump running because everyone was making fun of him for fucking running in his last fight. So that was his reaction to that. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, "There's your fucking highlight."
He could take a joke.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I was like, "Here's your fucking highlight tape, Yusef."
That was when you said that to me. I was laughing. Next up. At UFC Vegas 103, we got Ricardo Ramos taking on Chepe Mariscal. Ricardo Ramos 17-6 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that close win over Joshua Coulibaly, taking on Chepe Mariscal. 17-6 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He is riding a 7-fight win streak. This is a really fun matchup between 2 very exciting guys for very different reasons. Ricardo Ramos is very dangerous. He's good everywhere, tall, rangy striker, but slick BJJ. He's got high kicks, spinning kicks, a great jab, solid leg kicks. If a fight hits the ground, he's always hunting for a submission. He's always trying to make something happen in a transition. He never settles in. He's coming off that bounce-back win over Josh Coulibaly, where he did showcase some toughness, survived some leg kicks, and then he won with a round-ceiling takedown. Taking on Chepe Mariscal. Chepe Mariscal can do all the things. He wrestled in college. He's got some striking titles. He's got great jiu-jitsu. He's won some jiu-jitsu tournaments. He gets takedowns when he needs them, and he's an absolute dog. He's not like insanely dangerous, but he has that Marab pressure. He's got that forward pressure, nonstop pace. He just did it to Damon Jackson, where Damon's a good grappler and didn't even have a second to breathe in that fight. And when we think about fighters with the nonstop pressure, the nonstop pace, the first one anybody will think of is Marab, and that should be the first person you think of. Yeah.
I was literally nonstop. I literally was nonstop walking forward.
Yeah, and then
that's why a lot of people scored that fight for me. Yeah, a lot of people scored. Well, new scoring criteria, as you mentioned earlier, that a lot of people are rewatching that fight and they're scoring it for me. Just did more activity.
I'm happy to run it back live. And I just hate the whole freaking thing. And I will still run it back live.
I couldn't do
The
that.
shame
I
in
feel
that.
bad.
The shame in that. The second person you think of after Merab might be Chepe because he is very simple. He doesn't slow down. He doesn't get tired. It's just shot, shot, shot. Forward pressure. Tons of strikes. Lots of scrambles. I think he just dogs his way to a win here. Ricardo Ramos is dangerous. He's sneaky. But I think Chepe is just too good at all the things to get caught in a wild submission in a scramble. Certainly possible, but I think Chepe just literally dogs himself and forward pressures himself to a win. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Tell me if you agree or disagree with this. I believe that Ricardo Ramos has to treat this like a one-round fight. I think he's got 5 minutes to get it done, and if he doesn't get it done in 5 minutes, I just don't think he's got a shot. Because I know he's kind of been trying to pace himself, and he came in that last fight against Bao and did. I mean, he did pace himself because before he was getting too aggressive with the grappling early, jumped into a couple guillotines. He started to pace himself, working the striking. He ended up stumbling into the grappling, honestly, and I think in that first round or whatever, and that kind of took the gas out of Bao. But if you're Ricardo, you got to treat this as a one-round fight because after the first round, Chepe, he's not going to lose those scrambles. He's not going to lose the striking. He's not going to lose the scrambles. He's going to be in your face. He's going to wear you down. But if you can get something going weird early, where you're dry, a weird scramble, you're a good grappler too. And if there's ever a situation where you're probably going to be able to find a whatever, it's going to be in a weird grappling scramble. You grab his back, you grab his neck, whatever it is. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that should be the game plan for Ricardo because if he just tries to pace himself, I'm just going to... By the time he's trying to do anything, Chepe is just going to be on him, and Chepe is not going to fucking stop. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think he comes in and tries to be the patient dude. I think it's going to be a mistake. Chepe's going to stay in his face. And once Chepe gets in your face, against a clinch, and if he gets on top of this guy, it's going to be fucking bad news. So I'm a big Chepe guy. Former lock of the week. I was a Chepe fan before anybody fucking else. I promise you that. I've been all over Chepe in all of his fights. I told you guys he's a fucking dog, and now he's getting the credit that he deserves. Minus 500. I honestly... When I was thinking about this fight, and I texted Angelo too, I was like, I'm going to wait for the odds because I think they're going to close because Ricardo Ramos is better than people think. Then I rewatched that Bao fight, and I'm like, man, he was able to out. Yeah, he was able to outdog that shit versus Bao, which was actually kind of surprising. He's not going to fucking dog shit out. Nobody's going to dog anything out against Chepe. That dude's a fucking animal, man. I love his game, so he's going to be my pick.
I'm with you. I mean, the odds moved quick. He was minus 400 when I did my quick picks video, and I was like, honestly. And
honestly, I actually did. I waited. They were minus 400. I waited. They went to 360. I jumped it, and now they're at minus 500. So
yeah, when it went down, when you texted me, they went down. I'm like, I'm surprised. They were just minus 400. I think he should be. It makes sense to me. And then,
I did say this on Twitter. I was like, the meme sub of the week. And the only reason I'm saying it is so it doesn't happen, right? Because if I thought it in my head, I'd be like, oh my God, I thought of that. But if I say it, it's not going to happen. But the meme sub of the week would be Ricardo Ramos guillotining.
Gil. You pronounce the L.
Guillotine Chepe in the first round. Just because Ricardo lost those back-to-back fights by first-round guillotine, it would be the meme sub of the week if Ricardo just randomly guillotined Chepe in the first round. But it's not going to happen because I said it.
Well, it should be a really fun fight. Chepe's never in a boring fight. $9,400 in DraftKings Fantasy. If history tells us anything, is that he is worth that price tag. The guy moves forward, does whatever he wants to do over and over and over. I do think we will get a full 15 minutes out of these two.
No.
A lot of it. You think he finishes Ricardo?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. Ricardo, I mean, he didn't finish Damon Jackson.
Chepe just doesn't fucking stop, dude.
Agreed. Well, either way, if he finishes them, even better. $9,400 in DraftKings Fantasy, I think that is worth it. If you do want to check out all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else that we do, it's only $10 for an entire month. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top, and unlock everything you could ever want or need. Whether it's for DraftKings Fantasy, FanDuel, Underdog Fantasy, anything you want or need. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. And if you want $50, we'll send you $50. Just go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners and make a deposit. If you use the link to make your account and make a deposit, we will send you $50 to thank. It's affiliate marketing. They're going to pay us. I'll slice off some of that money and give it right back to you. As I showed earlier when I got the push notification, everything we do is available inside of the app. If you have the app, you'll also get push notifications. If you don't have the app, that's fine. You can download it. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. And if you don't even want to have an app at all on your phone because you're weird like that, everything we do on the website works in a mobile browser, a desktop browser, and any device you could possibly have. In there, you can check out the fight simulator. This is going to take every fight on the card and simulate it 100,000 times. You then take those outputs from those 100,000 simulations and use them for whatever you want. DraftKings Fantasy seems to be the cash cow here, but the fight simulator is the newest addition to Premium, as is BetSam.
Oh,
BetSam
we don't give
was added.
a fuck.
I mean, BetSam.
I said a boom, 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 and let me hear you say wayo.
Ayo.
No, it's wayo.
I know. I've been
I
saying
said
it
a
this whole
boom,
time.
boom,
I'm mixing it up.
boom, and let me hear you say wayo.
Well, step back. Ow, with the boom. BetSam and Artem are doing their thing too. Artem does far more than just UFC. BetSam was feeding families just a few weeks ago, and the artificial intelligence last week was absolute fire. WeWantPicks.com. Unlock all of it right now. Here's a look at that AI and how well it did. 10-2 in picks and 83% pick accuracy from a machine. This is a machine. Just use it as a reference point. The machine picked, and the machine picked well. And here's that new content we talked about earlier. Jacob has a new prop hunter video. He gave you 2 different plus 900 bets in that last video. They both hit. He also has his super fast, lightning fast, full card breakdown. It is quite literally like 10 minutes for the most part, or a little less. And he doesn't just run through it. There's graphics on the screen giving you the keys to victory for every single fight. Check out those new damn videos. And then, if you want a little bit of a break from the picks and the bets, I teamed up with Josh Thompson. We do a show called Bad Takes. We take the latest topics and we talk about it. We just did the Henry Cejudo breakdown. Tomorrow morning, we're going to film who Justin Gaethje should fight in the co-main event of UFC 313. They're about 10, 15-minute videos, different takes. I'm a normal person. He's a former world champion. And we have some fun doing it. Check out all of these videos. I have to beat you people over the head to watch the new content. Check out the new videos. They're right here on the channel. Hit the bell. Speaking of videos, the Prize Pick and the Underdog videos, if you guys like those, I'm moving those to the Picks Nation channel. That's our set. We have 2 channels. It's going to the Picks Nation channel. Those 2 videos.
Angelo is so giddy after inhaling those cookies he's hiding from Tiffany. He has a kid-like happiness right now.
It is a sugar high.
Like he just got out of the trampoline.
It is a sugar high. D also said that he's a Caramel Delight Samoa guy. Samoas are good, but nothing is better than a tag-along. Nothing.
Nothing's better than your health.
Okay, buzzkill. We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas 75078. If you want to send something for the vlogs, we film a vlog for every single UFC pay-per-view. And I got some wild mail, an insane package that will be in this vlog, so make sure you check that out when it drops. And if you want something to be featured, we got a couple of letters from Thomas Rinker as well for this next vlog. P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we got Danny Barlow taking on Sam Patterson. Danny Barlow, 9-0, undefeated in his career. He does have 5 stoppages. He's taking on Sam Patterson, 12-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5 years, riding a 2-fight win streak. Danny Barlow, rangy striker, very real power. He likes to work at range. He'll enter the pocket when he wants, and he'll come in there with some lead uppercuts and some nice hooks. Even though he does have a bunch of early finishes, he's not a guy that can gas out. He actually takes his time. He waits for the right shots. He's pretty composed. He doesn't headhunt. He's got powerful kicks as well. All around a pretty dangerous guy. If you come at him with crazy pressure, that could throw him off a little bit. But for the most part, Danny Barlow, pretty well-rounded guy. Taking on Sam Patterson, very tall, very long. Insane 6'4" at this weight class. And while he does not use his length for striking very well, he does use it on the ground. If you end up on the ground, he is tying things up, wrapping you up, losing all of those long guy techniques. Takedown defense does need a little bit of work, but as I mentioned, he will use that length really well on the ground, constantly wrapping you up. Sam Patterson relies entirely too much on just being tall. And it's important, right? I'm tall, I'm long, I can use that to my advantage. But when you have built your entire career, your whole skill set, everything inside the cage relies on just you being long and tall, you're going to have some problems when you fight somebody who's just as long as you. And that's what we have here. Danny Barlow's the better fighter. He hits hard. He's faster. He's more dangerous. He's more well-rounded. And according to the statistics, he has a longer reach. And Danny Barlow's the better striker. I think Danny Barlow wins this fight. Danny Barlow will be the pick. And I'm surprised his odds haven't gone absolute bananas. And if anything, they're actually tightening. Some people are looking at Sam Patterson, seeing how he was knocked out by Yanal Ashmos, and are like, I think he could beat Danny Barlow. I don't see it. Jakey boy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy to me. I love Danny Barlow this week. I've been on the anti-Sam Patterson side, and if I know I say this a lot of times with a lot of fighters, and it's fun. And it's joking, and it's like, and I say it to bring attention to it, but then it doesn't really actually bother me because, you know, it is what it is, right? Because a lot of these guys are good-looking guys. If there's any, and I'll start it as soon as I finish. Angela, excuse me, because it's serious. If there is anything in the chat, if there's anything in the comments, if there's anything, you send me a message on Instagram, if there's any replies on Twitter, if there's any of that, on any video, on any social media, anything about me looking like Sam Patterson, it is an instant ban. It is an instant block. It is it is strike 3 and you are fucking out. Okay? And normally this is like, haha, he's being funny. I promise you I'm not being funny. I take it as disrespect and I will not allow it. To break this fight down, Sam Patterson, I don't think is very good at all. Danny Barlow, in my opinion, shouldn't have to fucking shouldn't have to respect this guy. I think I know Danny Barlow's been trying to pace himself and let me be, you know, whatever, and get these 5 full 15 minutes or whatever. Just walk up to this guy. He's gonna pump out a slow ass jab to try to keep you away, and then he's gonna go like this. He's gonna pump that jab. And he's gonna go like this. Like that, because anytime you throw a punch at him, he back. And just fucking fire a 1-2 and you're going to fucking knock this guy out. I wouldn't show him any respect. Sam Patterson's not going to get the takedowns. Danny Barlow's too much of an athlete. He can defend the whole body lock. Oh, my God. I'm a little off balance. Oh, wow. Danny Barlow's going to smoke him.
I completely agree. That's why I'm surprised his odds are here and other people are becoming bigger and bigger favorites. But it is what it is. Some people just
and
like
I'm just
Paul.
a Sam Patterson. I don't know. Maybe it's, you know, maybe there's something to it.
Red on red crime. I get it.
Yeah, fucking
self-loathing.
Yeah, look at his hair. Look at my hair, guys. Are we understanding what's going on now? Jesus Christ.
I'm surprised you went out. You got a nice new haircut at the barbershop and then you covered it up.
Got the beard lined up. Look at that thing. Look at, hey, yeah, I got the face.
If you asked AI to make Jacob but with a 3-foot neck, you would get Sam Patterson.
Okay, you just got fucking banned.
All right, $9,200 for Danny Barlow in DraftKings Fantasy. I am picking Daniel Barlow, and I do think he should be in your DraftKings Fantasy lineup because I think he gets a finish here, certainly scores those points. If you do want to check out everything else that we have to offer, all the picks, the bets, the tools, just go to WeWantPicks.com. It's $10 for an entire month. That month includes not only this card, but UFC 313 next week, UFC London, and then another UFC Vegas card. 4 spectacular fight cards, freaking $10, $2.50 a week for the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we got Hyder Amil taking on William Gomis. Hyder Amil undefeated in his career at 10-0. Looking for his third UFC knockout win. Taking on William Gomis, 14-2 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off that robbery win over Joanderson Brito. And if you're going to argue that wasn't a robbery, you just like to argue for no reason. William Gomis is not somebody that I've enjoyed watching in the past. Bit of a boring Frenchman. Honestly, that's not an offense to the French. But a lot of the French fighters outside of Benoit Saint-Denis do tend to take their time, hang on the outside, just be technical. That's Savat style. And that's typically what he's done. We have seen him do all the things. He can grapple, he can strike, he can outwork some people. So it's hard to label him as any one thing because he can do all of that. His striking style is that Muay Thai style, very opportunistic grappler. If he sees something, he'll snatch it up. The criticism on him has been that he is low volume, and at times it is brutal. He has almost 1 hour of time in the octagon over his couple of fights, and he's still landing fewer than 3 significant strikes per minute. He's coming off that win over Joanderson Brito, where I think it was an absolute robbery. He did show that he's not a complete pushover, but that was just he didn't win that fight. He's taking on Hyder, an aggressive striker. He will walk forward. He'll walk through fire. He will try to get into that pocket, and he will just bomb away. He's got a solid chin. He relies on his chin. He's got good power in his hands, and he's just take one to give one, swings like crazy, hopes to find your head, and if he does find it, it's going to be a problem because he hits very hard. He's not a very good wrestler, but he will work fights to the ground if he gets the opportunity. Most of the time, people are so concerned about what they're coming his way that he lowers his level, he shoots, and he'll get it there. This could be a really fun fight, mostly because Hyder's going to move forward and just swing wild. I just think that William Gomis is the better fighter here. I think he can avoid getting lit up, stay on the outside, be long, maybe initiate his own grappling. So William Gomis is going to be the pick because he's the better fighter. Hyder is the more dangerous of the two. He's just going to come in, swing like crazy, maybe connect, maybe not, hopefully not. But we just saw Joanderson Brito, who's supposed to be the most dangerous guy in this division, not be able to get William out of there. I don't think Hyder will. So I think Hyder might be punching at air while William Gomis dances around and bores us to death. William Gomis is the pick. What do you think, Cheeky Boy?
Yeah, William Gomis is a guy that I know well, former Lock of the Week winner. There's 6 of them on this card. He has won. I think was it the Francis Marshall fight? I know it was one of those. It was a very boring fight. I know that, but he ended up being a Lock of the Week winner. And I kind of thought that William Gomis was this kind of a pretty boy striker, like almost like he moves around honestly like Zalal. Like I know a lot of people give Yusuf shit for that, but one thing you're not going to ever do is hit Yusuf Zalal clean. The way that he moves, you're just not going to hit him clean. And William Gomis is kind of that same thing, like the dancing around style, the counter strike, and to be able to move off angles. It's really hard to hit that guy clean. And I was very high on him as Lock of the Week, but going into that Brito fight, I was like, oh, Brito's going to fuck this guy up because he's just going to blitz this guy. He's going to get in his face and then land a big shot or get the takedowns. And I thought he was going to get the takedowns, and it was a close fight. I obviously thought Brito, I was very high on him. I thought he was going to win that fight. But Hyder Amil, to me, is like a worse version of Joanderson Brito. I just think it comes simply to that. If Joanderson Brito couldn't get it done, and some people might thought he did, but I thought he'd do a lot better than that. I don't see Hyder Amil having that same success. He is kind of just a blitz forward, hands low. He was able to somehow bait the Korean Tiger into just dropping his hands and slugging with them, and William Gomis just is never going to be that guy. He is just a counter striker. The thing I worry about the most, because I honestly think this is a tailor-made fight for a guy like William Gomis. A big counter striker who showed a little bit of a mean streak against Brito, really sat down on a few shots, was a little bit more aggressive than we've seen in the past. Is he going to carry that same momentum of being in front of his hometown or being in front of his home fans against a guy who kind of disrespected him at the weigh-ins, and he kind of had that anger to him when he was fighting with the crowd going crazy? Is he going to bring that same energy into the Apex? Or is he going to be the normal, William Gomis, who is going to get danced around, and Hyder could find that pressure and find some success, maybe in the grappling as well? That does worry me a little bit, but as a fighter, William Gomis is better. I think it's a tailor-made matchup for him, and I think he kind of rolls here.
Yeah, and if this isn't the year of the undefeated prospects losing, I don't know what is. So even just that is that alone should caution you. I saw somebody comment that the line is moving towards Hyder. So more and more money coming in. I get it. He's an underdog. He's undefeated. He's dangerous, but William Gomis is just the better fighter. Yeah, William Gomis should just be the better fighter here. So William Gomis is going to be the pick. I am not spending $80.
People like never bet the French. William Gomis would have won you a lot of money if you kept betting him.
He keeps winning fights. He's boring as shit, and it's frustrating to watch, but he does just keep winning fights. $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy for William Gomis. I don't think he's going to cover that salary. I don't see him finishing here. Hyder is tough.
Oh, I think he's going to finish him.
Because you think Hyder's going to be punching air, just getting hit with counter shots? And
Hyder's not a fucking he's not a fucking pussy. He's going to come at William. Yeah. And if you come at William, in the last fight, if he's landing stuff like that on Hyder, I think he's going to hurt him. And if he hurts him, I think he can get him out of there.
Yeah, I think it goes a little longer, but I can see what you're saying, especially an undefeated guy, young in his career. I guess we'll find out.
Baby, I feel like laying you down.
Never heard that song in my life. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else that we do, it's only $10 for an entire month. I cannot express to you enough how insane the website. Sign up. It's $10. You hate it? Cancel your membership. No big deal. $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, you get picks, bets, tools, a full tape study, everything you could ever want or need heading into a fight week. Somebody said similar to Johnson and Temirov, and that's not a terrible analysis.
What? This fight?
Yeah.
No.
A guy with
Charles
power
Johnson
running forward
is
like
not
crazy.
A backup striking kickboxer. He gets in your face. He's a pressure guy. Charles is going to be the fucking pressure guy. He's going to be all over this guy. It's nothing the same. Have you ever watched a fight?
I was reading a comment.
Someone asked you straight up, do you even watch UFC?
Yeah, because I said John Matsumoto won that fight. Do you even watch UFC, bro? No, I don't. I just made all this up. I'm just guessing. People are the worst. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we got the big boys. We have Austen Lane. He spells it with an E, taking on Mario Pinto. Austen Lane. Pause. $49.99 super chat from Riff Raff. We Want Picks keeps putting out expertise. New content, new tools. I ask how you're not premium for the price of a fancy Starbucks coffee. Jacob, Ange, Sam, and Artem, best in the game. Join now and win, you bitches. Riff Raff, insanely supportive. Half the stuff you've sent is right here in my office. We appreciate you, my man. Riffy Raff. Riff Raff sent that jacket. That's right. Jakey boy's wearing the Venom.
It hangs on my chair.
We appreciate you, Riff Raff. All right.
Jacob looks like a chemo patient, St. Patterson. All right. Well, fucking there you go.
All right. Let's start this over. We got Austen Lane taking on Mario Pinto. Austen Lane, he does spell it with an E, and he's taking on UFC newcomer Mario Pinto. Austen Lane, 2-2-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that wrestle heavy win over Robelis de Spain. He is 13-5 in his entire career. Mario Pinto, undefeated at 9-0 in his career. 6 stoppages. Austen Lane, former NFL player. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's athletic. All of the skills he needed in the UFC, he can use in the octagon, but he doesn't come out wildly athletic. What he does, he moves forward, strikes at distance, works you against the cage, and then tries to grapple. That did just work for him in his last fight when he fought Taekwondo Olympian Robelis de Spain. Pretty boring fight. He was on his bicycle and then ultimately got some takedowns, ended up on the ground. He's taking on UFC newcomer Mario Pinto. He's a technical striker. He takes his time to find a rhythm, but then he will settle in and let his hands go. He does a nice job working in leg kicks as well. Despite having some power, he doesn't really chase it. I don't love the striking style. He will lean his head back if things start coming his way.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Which isn't great. He does avoid the strikes instead of solid footwork by moving the head, but he is definitely talented. He can grapple as well. He's got some solid takedown defense. Good top work if he ends up there. Last fight out, we saw Austen turn himself into a Dagestani. Just forward pressure or back up, catch a kick. Whatever it took to get to the ground, he got it to the ground. But that's because his opponent was a Taekwondo Olympian who had giant wrestling holes. That is not what we have here. Mario Pinto can do all the things. He can strike, he can grapple, he can do everything. I think Mario wins this fight. The odds obviously think he wins this fight as well. My only concern is that Austen is huge and strong and athletic, and he may just hold Mario against the cage and really just wear him out, get him frustrated. He is young in his career at only 9-0, making his UFC debut. Mario is going to be the pick because he's a well-rounded guy that can do all the things. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I watched that Mario Pinto fight, and it wasn't the longest fight, and he didn't show a lot of it. I think you nailed it when it's like he's not really a flashy fighter, right? He's not throwing the big shots or whatever. He kind of stays within himself. But in that fight, in those moments, kind of the way that he was moving, I don't see a lot of heavyweights moving like him. Like the way he's kind of feinting shots and bobbing the shots and stuff. A lot of heavyweights are a lot stiffer. They're looking for the big shot. He's throwing out little half feints, trying to make reads on what the person's trying to do, taking his time, walking forward, in and out. And once he was making those reads, boom, 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 he throws a nice combination, just kind of finds shots on the button instead of these big heavyweights are trying to wing big shots. And I think that's important here because Austen Lane has had success wrestling these other heavyweights that will throw the big shots into these takedowns that he can get. They're off balance, all this stuff. Mario Pinto, I think, is going to be a tough guy to fucking take down because he just kind of slowly walks you down. He's bobbing, he's weaving, he's level changing himself. And without those takedowns, I think Austen Lane is going to be in trouble at some point. You know, this could extend because Mario will kind of take his time. And if Austen respects the hands and is looking for those entries and is trying to feint those big shots and the big shots never come, it could be a lot of staring early. But I think once Austen Lane starts going, Mario is going to make those reads, throw a nice combination, and find this guy. And honestly, the way that Mario moves and his kind of demeanor in there for a heavyweight, I think he has some real fucking
Whoa! Easy, buddy.
I was ready to say that word.
All flustered.
Some real fucking success in the heavyweight division that's really kind of scarce right now. I think he could be a prospect to keep your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll find out how good he is because Austen Lane's not like a ranked world beater, but he has been around. He has been around. He's big. He's athletic. He's strong. Yes, he's a great barometer to see how good somebody actually is or is not. And people, I've seen a lot of. Oh, he got knocked out by a Taffer brother.
Jacob is biased. First car was a '72 Pinto. By the way, Pinto, I do like Pintos. Pintos are cool cars.
Were those?
But
the
I think they
cars?
blew up. I think they got in trouble, like the way they had the gas tank designed in those cars, that if you got rear-ended, I think the whole car fucking blew up or something. But Pintos are cool cars.
Oh, my dad had a Pinto. I remember. Those aren't the pickup cars. Yeah. They're like
El Caminos. My literal dream car is a pink El Camino with white walled tires, like a 70. Was it 78 SS? I can't remember what body style I like, but I fucking love El Caminos.
It was like a dot. I think my dad had a Datsun too. Didn't that look like a Pinto? I don't remember. Oh well, they didn't have nice cars. This will be an interesting fight. And anytime you get a new prospect into a division that is lacking sort of top, it's very top heavy. It's lacking young prospects to come in there, sort of mix it up. It'll be interesting to see what we have here. The last couple of prospects in this division paid off. Taliesin Teixeira came in here, knocked some heads off. So we'll see if Mario Pinto can do the same. I know people hating on Austen Lane for getting knocked out. Oh, he got knocked out by Taffer Brothers. Taffer Brothers suck. The Taffer Brothers have insane power in their hands. If they're going to connect, you're going to have problems. That's what happened. Justin came forward, connected. Austen had a problem. It is what it is. It happens to the best of them.
Did you know somebody with a car with a hole in the floor? Because my babysitter had like an old Cadillac in the 90s with a hole in the floor. Like you would just sit there and just watch the road underneath you.
That is funny. I don't even think cars could do that now. There's so much crap underneath.
That's what I'm saying. Growing up, did you ever, because somebody in the comments said my buddy had a Pinto with a hole in the floor in the back seat and our joint fell out of the floor and we all freaked out. 1988.
Damn.
What the fuck are you talking about? You were 15, 16 years old in 88.
I was 5.
Yeah.
I was 5 years old in 1988.
Yeah. My fucking dick.
Okay. Get your birth certificate. Let's see the birth certificate.
My fucking dick.
Let's see it. Anyway, go to the website. Unlock everything you could ever want or need. WeWantPicks.com. Bets, tools, insight, everything. I think there's 12
units
of bets on the board right now. This guy says if your dream
car is $25,000, you need to dream bigger. What a fucking piece of shit this guy is.
Yeah, not a great take. Doesn't have to be a dream car because it's expensive. It could just be a car you love. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have the featured fight of the evening. We have Nasrat Haqparast taking on Esteban Ribovics in what is the largest line movement fight on this card. Nasrat Haqparast opened at more than a 2-1 favorite, and he is now almost a 3-1 dog. Nasrat Haqparast is a name that we recognize. He's 17-5 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5, and he is in a 4-fight win streak, taking on Esteban Ribovics, 14-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that close win over Daniel Zellhuber. Nasrat Haqparast, as we all know, solid striker, good volume. He's landed at 6 significant strikes per minute. Very good takedown defense at 84%, and he can work in some takedowns occasionally. He pushes the pace, he finds a rhythm, super busy. Hard guy to beat if he is in that flow state, just letting his hands go. But if you stay in his face, like what Bobby Green did in that last loss, then you can have some success. He's coming off that hometown win over Jared Gordon. where the striking was fast and clean, but he was backing up, and I don't think he won that fight. He's taking on Esteban Ribovics. Very good fighter. He's an impressive striker. He's got sneaky power. His strikes are tight. They're short. They're accurate. He's got that high, tight guard. He works forward. He likes to pick his shots well, and despite a ton of knockout highlight wins, he's not just a striker. He's got good takedowns, good BJJ. He'll shoot good doubles. He'll work in some nice trips, and then once it gets to the ground, he's immediately looking for something. He's coming off that close win to Daniel Zellhuber where the range was a bit of a problem, but he kept the power.
Oh,
and he
shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know fucking shit sometimes.
And he did survive a late onslaught. I'll bet you $500 who gets more overall picks right on this card.
Done.
Okay, obviously 6 and 6 is a push, but outside of that, okay,
pretty easy. I just spent that $500 right now. There it goes. Okay. Already gone. Didn't even think about it twice about it.
I am picking Ribovics here. I think he's going to win this fight. I do think Nasrat is tricky in the striking, but it's very one-dimensional. Like, it's just clean boxing, hits that flow state, where Esteban Ribovics has wheels. He's fast. He can grapple. He can strike. He's got kicks and punches. I think Esteban can be the real deal. I think he wins this fight. And there's no weird homer calls here because this is in Las Vegas. What do you think, Jacob?
It actually kind of works out. I'm looking at our picks. It's going to come down to the 2 girl fights we're split on, which those could be
Let's get rid
of
that other. We already had that other bet on the girl fight. I don't want to bet on it twice if that's pivotal. So we'll get rid of the other bet for this $500 bet.
Pussy. So it's going to come down to the Charles Johnson fight. So you fucking lost.
Why would it come down to the Charles? It's the girl fight and the Charles Johnson
fight. Yeah,
I
assume the girl fight, one of us will be right on one of us will be wrong on one. I have De La Rosa, you have Carolina, and then I have JJ and you have Andrea. So we both have a somewhat favorite or whatever. So I just assume we probably split on those and it's going to come to Charles
both
Johnson.
The girl fights. Oh,
yeah. Are you fucking stupid or something? I said that 3 fucking times, dumbass. It comes down to the Charles Johnson fight. So you fucking lost. You lost. You're a loser. You're a fucking loser, dude.
Okay. Pick.
You know who's not a loser? Esteban Ribovics.
Yeah.
The fucking former lock of the week. And by the way, have we seen a trend lately for lock of the week? These motherfuckers aren't just winning once. I know my fucking dogs. Who my fucking baby dogs are. Arf, arf, arf. Esteban Ribovics, I told you guys, was a fucking animal, and I got fucking clowned for that. He was like, what, plus 225, something dog against Zellhuber. I said, don't worry. Just like lock of the week, this dude is like Novocaine. Just give him time, and it will always come through for you. It might take a little bit. He might get hurt, but he's not going to fucking stop, and he never stopped in that fight. Won that, came through. In this fight, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. I can't believe he opened up as a dog. I bet him as a big favorite. I feel comfortable with him. He's a dog. He's an animal. He can strike tit for tat with the hands against Nasrat, hurt him, but it's going to be the kicks. We've seen Nasrat be hurt with the calf kicks, the leg kicks. I think you throw a lot of kicks, change the variety, eye level, calf, calf, calf. You come with the high kick, you're blitzing it with the hands. I love everything that Esteban Ribovics brings to this game. My lock of the weeks are...
Not you. Somebody said, this guy's hair looks fake as fuck. Yeah, good job, bud.
But not just Esteban. It's every former lock of the week was they all open as favorites. A lot of them are big favorites. I know my fucking dogs, and Esteban is one of them. So that's my dude, and I'm with him again.
All right, we're both on the same side here. Those plus 180 odds would have been nice, but here we are at minus 300, and I think he could look it. Nasrat's good. He's experienced, but he doesn't love pressure, and Esteban is a pressure guy. I think it's literally that clean. He also can work in takedowns if he needs to and chop those legs. If you do want to check out the DraftKings
He's a smart kid. He's a fucking smart fighter, too. I mentioned that like in the... You notice that in the Quamela Kirk fight because he was taken down, he was controlled, and he recognized, hey, I cannot fucking stay on the ground. Like if I get taken down, I better fucking get up. So there's always a sense of urgency, and you saw that in that. I mean, he knew it was a close fight, and he got dropped in that third round to start that third round. I think a lot of people forget that he got fucking dropped to start the third round. He fucking was like, all right, I got to go win the round, and he fucking went and won the round.
What do you mean alive? I said it in my breakdown. I said
I don't listen to a fucking word you say. Okay, I hear everything. I don't listen to it, and unless there's a key word coming through, and I'm like, wait, what? That's why every time I hear you say some dumbass shit, I'm always like, wait, what did you say? Because I'm hearing, but I'm not fucking listening. I'd much rather listen to the fucking live chat. They're much more entertaining.
I agree. They still can't figure out if your hair is real or not, which is wild. That's not figure outable. But if you do want to check out all the picks, the bets, and the tools, that's easy to figure out. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's $10. I cannot express enough how insignificant of an amount of money that is for what you get in return. It's not a list of 4 bets. It's 4 people's worth of bets. And then on top of it, you have a full pick chart with 5 people. Then on top of that, you have an artificial intelligence. Then you have a fight simulator. You have a tape index, full fight history. You have everything you could ever want or need heading into a fight week, whether you like to copy paste or do your own research. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We do have a super chat from Carter Harrington. Jacob looking like Dog the Bounty Hunter with that hair. Makes sense because he's hunting the underdogs every week.
Get him, Leland!
Leland, he's in the
Leland,
tree.
he's in the tree, Leland. Kill him,
He's
Leland.
in the tree.
Kill him, Leland. The best part is when he would catch the people. He always pulled out cigarettes and gave the people a cigarette and lit the cigarette for him.
He was a good dude. Yeah, he was a good dude. And then his wife
he would
died.
like talk about like chase them down. Like, oh, that was a pretty good chase and thought we had you here. And like fucking, he would feel bad for him and stuff. He like we had some good conversations. He's still alive, right?
Yeah, his wife died, and then he went like off the rails.
Well, I think anybody.
The family stopped talking. Yeah, the patriarch. Yeah, like because then he started I think he married somebody almost immediately, and people were like, "She's just after your money," which I can understand. That completely fucking the entire dynamics of your family.
Cigarettes. I might smoke some this weekend.
I'm sure you will.
After this fight, I might be smoking some after this fight. I tell you that, buddy.
All right. I don't know why you went Spanish here, but next up at UFC Vegas 103, we got Cody Brundage taking on Julian Marquez in the co-main event of the evening. Cody Brundage 10-6 in his career, 2-1 in his last 5. He's coming off the no contest over Abdul Razak Al Hassan, taking on Julian Marquez, 9-5 in his career, relatively inactive, is coming off a couple knockout losses in a row. Cody Brundage, heavy-handed kill or be killed wrestler. He has no problem coming forward, bombing away, and then working in a takedown. He does have a pretty high-level wrestling background. He brings that into the cage. He's averaging almost 3 takedowns per fight, but he even, what the hell am I reading right here? 3 takedowns per fight, but even dominant wrestling, there it is, and big power cannot always keep himself. The IQ has been questioned in the past. When he came out there, I picked him. I bet on him. I said he was going to smoke SD Dumas in the first minute of that fight. He was going to smoke SD Dumas. And then things got a little away from him. He is coming off that no contest with Abdul Razak Al Hassan, where a sub 1 minute foul changed the entire dynamic of that fight. He's taking on Julian Marquez. Julian Marquez, pretty well-rounded guy. He's incredibly tough. He does fade later in fights, though. All 9 wins are by stoppage. They're all a mixed bag of knockouts and submissions. He doesn't typically work for a takedown, but he can find some submissions. He'll snatch him up in scrambles, and he's pretty opportunistic with that. He has very dangerous everywhere, but he is coming off back-to-back knockout losses and a full year away. His most recent loss was a 22nd knockout to Zachary Reese. And I know the public sentiment is like, there's always something up with the Cody Brundage fight. And there have been a couple of fights where just wild circumstances. But the reality is he shows up, he bombs away, puts on a show, and it works or it doesn't. But he's got power in his hands. He's got high-level wrestling. One of the most impressive things Cody Brundage ever did was Bo Nickel was about to take him down, and Cody Brundage just underhooks him and launches him off, and he slams into the cage.
Fight should stop.
Wasn't afraid at all.
If you watch that back, I think Bo
he hit his head and they should have.
Yeah, I think he was. I think fight should have been stopped.
And that was wildly impressive when he did that. And I have to go Cody Brundage here. And I get that the circumstances can be weird. I get he's pulled guard far more times than anybody, or pulled guillotine far more times than anybody would have ever liked. But the reality is he hits like a freight train. and we just watched Julian get knocked out twice. He's a high-level wrestler. We've seen Julian get taken down. I think Cody Brundage wins this fight. I'm picking Cody Brundage. Jakey boy, what do you think?
Cody Brundage is the lock of the week. Cody Brundage is, at this point, I consider him a friend of mine. I talk to Cody Brundage very often about other stuff, about fights, about this or whatever. So this is a little bit of a biased pick. But at the same time, I'm telling you guys, when I made that lock of the week video, obviously I was going to pick him regardless, right? I don't care who he's fighting. I picked him against Bo Nickel. I really thought that and you saw he had a few moments in that. I mean, he threw a big right hand that landed. I'm going to pick him against anybody, but he was an underdog. I was surprised that he opened as an underdog. So I rewatched all of Cody's fights to find the clips because that's what you got to do, to record all the clips and look for the clips. What do you want for the lock of the week video? So I watched all his previous fights. I'm telling you guys this right now, not even biased in the slightest. Cody Brundage is a good fucking fighter. He's a good fucking fighter. And in those fights that he loses, he has success in all these fights, but he just seems to be all hammer, no nail, and he seems to break mentally before he ever breaks physically or with lack of skills or whatever. He just gets in these positions where it's like, he just doesn't know how mentally to kind of work him through those positions. And in talking to him and leading up to this fight and previously or whatever, it seems to me that he is in a much better place mentally. Because after that last fight, I mean, he gets a lot of hate, right? I mean, the DQ with Jacob Malkoun, which, it's a DQ, right? I mean, whether he's hurt or whatever, by the level of law, you can't just fucking elbow somebody in the back of the head. And then the Al Razak Hassan, he was knocked out with an illegal shot. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. I mean, he literally was hurt in that fight. And he got a lot of hate for that. And after that fight, he basically, I don't know if it's like, he basically retired. He was like kind of over it, whatever. He was going to look into the coaching, stuff like that. And I think in that absence, he realized, and this is just me, I haven't talked to him about this, whatever. This is just me from the outside perspective. I think he refound his love for the sport. And he no longer approaches the sport as I have to do this, like I have to go train, now I have to go fight. I think he looks at it now as like, I get to do this. Right? And I think there's a little bit of a maturity that has happened in Cody, in my talking to him, whatever, in the last few months where he is really finding his joy again in this sport. And I think a motivated Cody Brundage that's there mentally and having fun in the octagon again is a fucking dangerous dude. We know this guy hits like a truck. He's taking pretty much anybody down. He was rolling through with, Bo fucking Nickel. He was dropping fucking Hidalgo, who we just saw go 15 minutes with a fire. I mean, this guy's got crazy power in his hands. He can wrestle. He can grapple. He spent that time. He was winning grappling tournaments. I think he's a purple belt now, whatever it is. And I know that he's my friend. I'm talking him up, but I really do believe that this guy is a really, really can be a high-level fighter. And he's going to show it off against Julian Marquez, who is a former training partner of Cody. I think they were at Kansas City together. Then they were at Factory X. I know they were at Factory X together, so he's training with this guy. And honestly, for the mental aspect for Cody, to where there's a lot of unknowns when you fight somebody, I think the familiarity of the opponent with Julian Marquez is going to help him even more mentally. He's been there and done that in all positions with this guy. He's been with this guy. He's trained with this guy. He's confident. When I talk to him about this fight, he's ready to show who he really is. I think he's going to do that in this fight. People are going to wonder, why is this the co-main? Why is this the whatever? I think you're going to find out why they wanted this as a co-main. I can't believe Cody Brundage is the dog. That's why he's my lock of the week. Julian Marquez he can't, if you want to break it down technically, he can't strike at range. Cody Brundage is great with that quick jab when he throws it. I think he's going to take his time and find that big shot and knock out Julian Marquez. So he's my lock of the week. Unless he gets in a brawl with Julian, if he just stays clean as mean, I think he's going to smoke this guy.
Yeah, I agree. And you said people may say, why is this the co-main? It's because it's an exciting ass fight. I mean, that's why every fight Cody Brundage is in is exciting. Julian Marquez, every fight he's in, also exciting. Win or lose, both these guys are exciting. So that's why
Julian Marquez is a former lock. He was the only one on this card that was a former lock of the week loser. I had him against Power Bar, and then
he got smoked.
Didn't work. Well, he looked great in the first round. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and then he got finished. Another failed lock of the week. If you do want to play some DraftKings fantasy here, I do think Cody Brundage is a good play. I mean, he comes in hot. Takedowns, bombing. We just watched Julian get knocked out twice.
little different.
A little more control out of him. Either way, $7,700 in DraftKings Fantasy for somebody who has as many finishes as he has and the abilities he has, I think makes a ton of sense. Julian Marquez at $8,500. Listen, years ago, when he was a little more involved, a little more active, was in a couple of those wars, just finding ways to win, it made more sense then. But now with the inactivity, he hasn't won a fight in a few years, getting knocked out, it feels very much like, I'm just here. And I can't spend $8,500 on that person. $7,700 for me would make sense in my DraftKings fantasy lineup. You need underdogs to fill that thing out. If you do want to check out all the picks, the bets, the tools, if you want to use the optimizer to build a lineup for you, unlock all of it now. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. At the
and
top,
I'll be at the
$10.
fight. I will be at the fight cheering him on. And hopefully, he already talked about afterwards. Hopefully, if we get the job done, I think we're going to meet up for a beer or two. So be able to hang out with him after the fights. It should be fun. But I can't wait to be there. And not the couch, though. Fuck.
There you go.
Fucking slumming it.
Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have the new main event of the evening.
You got to pee or something?
No, I'm just fidgety. All that sugar.
I thought we'd go on a little tangent there, and then you just kind of...
Oh, my bad.
No, it's cool. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Tangent up. No couch. What? My bad. Go ahead.
That's cool, man. No, I just thought, for one event, I want to go see how the normal people are watching the fights, people that aren't at the elite celebrity status like me. So instead of on the couch, I'm going to be 2 rows behind the couch, fucking watching from the bleachers on this one.
Folding chair. Yeah. Same food, though, right?
Same. Everything else is the same, but I got one of those inflatable butt pillows I'm going to bring to help. My sciatic.
Seat.
My sciatic nerve is...
Were all those... Have you ever been there and the couches weren't all taken?
You mean they're actually empty? No, they've always been full.
Yeah.
But it was... I can't believe that they already sold out. I was going to sit on the couch, but they were already sold out by the time I decided I was going to go to this one, so...
I guess you'll find out when you're there if it's just like straight up real fans.
I'm gonna have some big bets. Follow my Instagram. Why are the names not up?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought it was cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
I'll add it. Hold on. Where are they?
Follow my Instagram. We'll throw those bets up on Saturday. I'll be in Vegas throwing some
boom
moolah.
There it is. At JT_.
We gotta redo this. So it's to not have that up.
Back it up. I don't know. I thought it was cleaner. My bad. Lots of stuff on the
I got my own brand, too. I'm trying to support here. Sweetheart.
I get it, man. There you go. Toots.
You liked that, didn't you?
Sweetheart?
No. I called you Toots earlier. That's why you just said that.
When did you call me Toots?
Wow. This is pretty funny here.
If you did, then I didn't notice it, and that's why it was in my head just now. Oh, in a text? Calm down.
Because you said, ha, 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 ha. So I said, calm down, Toots. You're welcome.
Next,
I was just going to say, what a great card to go to with laughing emoji. This is a great Apex card to go to.
No, this is a very good Apex. Every single one of these fights is exciting. The only one that could potentially be boring is William Gomis, and his opponent won't let it be boring. So it should be a really fun card.
Yeah, that JJ fight's going to be a fucking...
Absolutely.
Paint's going to be peeling off the walls on that one.
Bragger. Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have the main event of the evening. We have Manel Kape taking on Asu Almabayev. Manel Kape was supposed to fight. What the hell's his name? Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval gets hurt. He's out. They tried to figure out what to do. Jacob made the case for Charles Johnson. It made sense. Guy's on a 4-fight win streak. But ultimately, they reached outside of the card instead of messing with what was already there, and they grabbed Asu Almabayev. Asu Almabayev, pretty good fighter, probably earned a slot here, at least with the recent streak that he's on. But first, we got Manel Kape. 20-7 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that incredible win over Bruno Silva, taking on Asu Almabayev. 21-2 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5, riding an insane 17-fight win streak. Manel Kape, as we all know by now, fast, explosive striker. He has no issues chasing knockouts. He is a southpaw. He's got good pressure. He'll bounce in and out of range really well. He's a decent wrestler when he needs to be. and he will close distance when he wants to. He's very fun to watch. He can put on a show, and he's coming off that career-defining win over Bruno Silva, where despite getting kicked in the groin a couple of times, he just took over and started styling on that guy. He's taking on Asu Almabayev. Asu Almabayev is a flashy striker and a dominant wrestler. He can control that striking range. He can even work in a spinning attack or two before shooting big takedowns and controlling on top. He doesn't go looking for submissions, but he does do a great job grabbing them, snatching them up in scrambles. He is strong. He sets a nice pace. He has plenty of cardio. What am I looking at? What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah, it turns into a rocket.
Oh, dude, I thought you had a light that you, like a cop. I was like, why is there a light hitting me? He's coming off the decision over Mateusz Nicolau, where he had a knockdown, but he only went 1 for 6 in takedown attempts. And the 1 for 6 against Nicolau is what worries me here, because I came into this wanting to pick the wrestler. I wanted to pick Asu. But then his most recent performance of wrestling wasn't what it's going to need to be to win this fight. So I'm going to lean Kape because he has got more confidence than ever. His striking has always been very good. Takedown defense has also always been pretty good. For Asu to win this fight, he needs to come forward, be busy, be creative, and work in takedowns. He basically has to get Kape frozen because of the takedown attempts. Frozen like Elsa, Izzy would say. Almost like the staring contest that he had with Makayev, because the threat from Makayev to shoot takedowns was so big that Manel Kape couldn't quite commit to anything. So if Asu sets that tone early, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to shoot, well then we could end up in a situation where Kape doesn't want to commit to anything because of those potential takedowns. I am going to lean Kape. Asu on short notice, 5 full rounds, not having the success wrestling in his last fight that we'd like to have him in this fight. I got to go Manel Kape, but this does... main events tend to have more upsets than the rest of the card. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I've been a Manel Kape hater for a long time. I'm pretty sure I had him versus Bruno, but it was like I told people I picked, like, every time I pick for Kape, he loses. Every time I pick him, every time I pick for him, he loses. Every time I pick against him, it seems like he wins the fight. So I've been a Kape hater, but I will tell you this: it feels like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it feels like there's a lot of people betting Asu. It feels like, to me, I usually have a pretty good pulse on who people think lock of the week should be and who the underdog favorite is, and it feels like the public dog is leaning a little bit towards Asu, and that honestly doesn't surprise me, because it seems like, oh, this younger whatever, even though he's not really that young, like, non-stop wrestler is what people think he is going to take down, because we've seen Kape get that right. Makayev took him down. We've seen him getting taken down. Now we got this non-stop wrestler, so I'm going to play the dog because I think there's good value there, and I think Manel Kape is going to fucking smoke your value. I'm not even a Manel Kape fan like that, but he showed a next level kind of killer instinct against Bruno. As Angelo mentioned, I love the confidence, the swagger that he's bringing in, because before it seemed like it was all talk. Right? He would talk all this shit, and he would come in and do all this, and then he just fucking wouldn't do anything. And he was losing close fights because of it. But now he's brought the swagger into a little bit more of an intensity in the fights. And if you're betting Asu, you have to assume, and this is kind of the same thing I said with Tatiana and Wei Li. I said, if you're betting Tatiana, she's got to get takedowns. First, she's got to get the takedowns. Then she's got to get the control, and she's got to keep the control enough to win the round, and then she's got to do that 3 separate fucking times when every round starts on the feet. That's the same thing with the Asu. He can't hang. I know he's got the spinning, he's got kind of wild strike. He can't hang in the striking against Manel Kape. He needs to get the takedowns. Can he get a takedown in 3 separate rounds, keep the control, and score enough with Vegas judges? Hey, fuck shit. How many rounds do you need to win the fucking fight?
It's a 5-round fight.
You have to do it for 3 fucking rounds, because that's all you need to fucking win. Somebody tried to do that on Twitter too. I'm like, hey, dumbass. You only have to win 3. You don't have to win all 5 rounds. Okay? You need to do it. You got to get the takedown in 3 separate rounds, the control enough to win the round in 3 separate rounds, and you got to do it 3 fucking times. I don't see it done against Manel Kape. He's taking it to that next level, and I think he fucking smokes this kid, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. We came to the same. I wanted to pick Asu, and I'm not a Kape hater. I just was I love wrestlers. I love my wrestlers. Anybody who can control where the fight goes. Somebody commented on a video today saying, Angelo, if you could pick any one skill that's most important in MMA, what would it be? Wrestling. Because you can control if the fight stays up or down. And that's what I was hoping for Asu before I started to watch the tape again. Some fighters, I don't need to watch tape, right? I've seen them a million times. Asu, I rewatched the tape, and I'm like, God damn, he should have been ragdolling Nicolau, and he couldn't.
And here's what I'll say about Asu is, in my opinion, because surprisingly, of the two of them, Asu actually has 5-round experience. He's had a decision win in a 5-round fight. Cops never went 5 rounds. I would turn it into a cardio fight. I would just spam and spam and spam and just hope that you could just beat him on cardio, even though he was already preparing for 5 rounds and you were only 3 rounds. Yeah. It is what it is. I would just, because I don't think he can strike with this guy, and I think if he tries to time the takedowns, they're not going to work. I would just try and test the cardio and just try to hope that way. If I was game planning, that's what I would say. Just fucking trust your cardio, kid, and just fucking go for it.
Yeah, I mean, and was he booked? I don't think he was booked then.
He was on this card.
Asu was?
Yeah. He got moved.
Oh, and then his fight,
it was
going
to be him or Charles. No, I think he was going to fight
really?
The Brazilian, Alan Nascimento. Does that make sense?
Oh, Alan Nascimento? I don't know. I must have not seen the card when this all it's about 3 weeks, so well then no concerns. I'm not worried about his cardio anyway, but definitely no concerns if he was already on this card. I don't know why I didn't realize that. So it's not everybody's talking short notice, so it's not really short notice, just a move up on the whole thing. It should be a fun fight, though, because we're going to find out. I think it's better for the division if Manel Kape is good. He looked incredible in that last fight. The problem is, and I didn't give this caveat earlier, but the problem is he did look incredible in that fight, but that's against Bruno Silva. And Bruno Silva's like kind of reckless. After he was getting tagged up by cleaner technique, he just started really brawling, which just made it worse for him, right? The sloppier he got headhunting, the cleaner Manel got, and just the worse it got for him. But we'll see what happens here if Manel plants and Asu shoots. We'll figure it out. But Manel Kape, $9,000 in DraftKings Fantasy. Asu Almabayev, $7,200 in DraftKings Fantasy. It's probably a pick your side, honestly. Because Manel could win this fight pretty convincingly and still not score well. If it's just volume, cleaner technique, but no real takedowns, no knockdowns. Or Asu could come forward, get the takedowns that everybody thinks he might get, and then be worth that money. But either way, the artificial intelligence will give you its pick. I'll give you mine. Jacob will give you his. Betsam, Artem. Everybody will give you their picks, their bets, their breakdowns. We have tools that will do research for you, build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you, and everything else.
If you haven't liked the stream, make sure you like the stream. Like the stream. Like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, do it now.
And then
that
download
was the end of the song, retard.
And then download the app. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. After you download the app, you'll have full access to every single thing that we do. Even if you're not a premium member, you're going to go ahead and get push notifications on your phone. So make sure those are on. Inside the app and outside the app, you'll have full access to all the tools like the fight simulator. This will simulate fights 100,000 times and give you the outcomes. You'll also have access to the data analyzer if you like to do your own tape study. I just did tape study on Asu Almabayev. I literally used the data analyzer. Instead of searching for all these freaking fights, I just pull up the fight card in the data analyzer. Are they really that big? That's how big they are. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was giants that built the pyramids.
That's the theory. They find their bones yet?
I got a big bone for you.
Where?
Ready?
Yeah.
You give me 7 minutes and I'll change your fucking life.
You're going to go grab some shrimp?
Nice callback.
It was a good callback. I mean, that was. Why'd you say that insultingly? That was a good callback.
No, I probably should have laughed, but I was a little bit, jealous.
I'm a little annoyed you got there. I use the data analyzer myself while doing tape study because all you do is pull up the fight, everything you need right there on one screen. You're also going to have access to the line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, line movement for every fighter on every card. The Prop Hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. And everybody else on the We Want Picks crew. Finally, you want 50, we'll send you 50. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Use the affiliate links, guys. Thank you so much for the watch.
Let's just brainstorm here before we go.
Yeah,
what I should get to, what I should get to eat, because we ended it pretty early. It's pretty quick stream there.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
What do you think? I'll be honest.
Hey, what are the options? You know what I've been craving? You know what I told the barbershop today, and a guy was really excited about it? I told him about that Donato's. I told him Donato's open up. If you guys are in the chat, in the comments right now, where's my Midwest? He goes, oh, I'm from Illinois. And I was like, you get it, man. Donato's is killer. He was like, yeah, open up. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's right down the road, man. It's new?
Yeah, just opened up.
Is it the only
they
one?
literally were closing down left and right in the Midwest, but here in Texas, I think it's really
thriving.
I think it's really going to take off. It's good fucking pizza, man.
Is it new? Meaning, like that one's new. Is it new to North Texas?
There wasn't anyone around here because I used to always talk about Donato's, and then randomly I saw, or no, I think I got like a push notification from DoorDash or something like.
It's like new.
And I was like, what? I've eaten it 4 times in the last 10 days. Not even joking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
See, look. John Get Fit is talking about the cheese sauce at Donato's. That's what I'm talking about. It was known for good cheese sauce. And
you
the one
said it
here,
last stream.
And the one here, I had this discussion last stream.
It's exact same discussion. Word for word.
I think they're closed, honestly. But I had Taco Bell last night, so I don't know what to eat.
The move should be, I've been craving Chinese food. Chinese food should be the move.
What's your favorite type of Asian? What's your least favorite type of Asian?
That was on.
That's on. They do that on Kill Tony a lot. Yeah.
What's your least favorite race?
Yeah. What's your least favorite race?
That dude Hans Kim answered, which was
he answered
great.
it one time.
Yeah, with that.
He just said it because it's not me saying it, but he was just like the blacks or something like that, and they were like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nobody expected him to answer.
Holy shit! Even Tony was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Again, that was not me. That was Hans Kim saying that.
Yeah. No, I'd go Chinese, man. I fucking love Chinese. You seen me every time I go to that airport.
Now, honestly, let's see what time they close. I feel bad when they're like close to close. When do they close?
Jesus Christ. I'm not going to read it. Just check the live chat.
13 minutes left to order from the store. I can't do that to them.
Yeah. So what are your options?
At this point,
if
we're closing at 10. Hey, if we're closing at 10, I worked at a pizza place. If we're closing at 10, I had that kitchen fucking spotless 9:15. And if you came in to order pizza after 9:15, it's like motherfucker. And it was all those memes of like fucking, you guys still open? It's like, yeah, we close in 5 minutes. Great, we'll sit down and order. It's like, that happens so much. It's crazy, like the lack of self-awareness. And they would stay till fucking like 10:45. It's like, fucking get out of here, man. I'm 22 years old. I'm shaking because I haven't had a Miller Lite in 12 hours. I got to get back home and fucking pound this shit. Those little self-kegs were the best things in the world, Angela. They sold those little plastic egg-shaped kegs. I never saw a
Miller Lite one. I only saw the
you
Heineken
put it in your
ones.
fridge and crack it. It's just, oh my God, I would just plow through those things.
Fancy. Did you land on food yet?
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I even had McDonald's for lunch because I got my hair cut and I just scooped up the way home.
Damn, dude. How am I the fat one? That's what I don't get.
I might have to go something like Steak and Shakers on.
Before bed.
Maybe IHOP.
Without
IHOP
alcohol?
is literally, when I don't know what to eat, it's always IHOP.
You do love breakfast for dinner.
I love breakfast food, man.
I
Eggs
hate
and bacon and pancakes and fucking sausage. There's nothing better than a sausage before bed. You know what I mean? You roll up with a fucking woo woo woo.
If it
get
wasn't
some
right
meat
before
down
bed,
your throat.
If it wasn't right before bed, I'd say to get Jollibee. Jollibee's fucking delicious. And you're in Frisco, so they'll deliver.
Is that another
That's
one
the
of those?
fried chicken.
Sounds a little homosexual. We're getting back to
No, Jollibee's good. Jollibee's Korean fried chicken, and is it Filipino? It's one of those.
Sonic in a while. Oh, I can't get Sonic anymore because they got rid of their fucking they had like cinnamon like filled cinnamon sugar something like Dunker type things that were so good. And I went there one day. That's like the only reason I go to Sonic, and they're like, oh, we don't have that anymore. I'm like, then get me out of this fucking drive-through line. What am I doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I would You can get
There's
Jolly
no Waffle Houses around here, unfortunately. I would go to Waffle. The amount of times I've been at Waffle House by myself randomly at like 10 o'clock at night eating is countless. I live in Indiana. I live like a mile and a half one. I would go to Waffle House all the time by myself and just sit there and eat eggs and fucking hash browns.
Even in Florida, you and I live near one.
Yeah, I went there a few times as well, just by myself.
I only went there once, and I was like, God damn, not my place.
Those are actually nice ones. The one in Florida is actually a nice one. You go to one. After we went to a strip club one time when we were 19 years old down to Louisville, and then we ate at a Waffle House at like 3 a.m. outside of Louisville, and literally was like a fucking TikTok like you see. A guy got in an argument with the manager, and they both grabbed it, and we're just sitting there, these 19-year-old kids, like suburban kids, just fucking watching shit, and they're just wow, and then they just broke it up. We just kept eating, went about our day, and just fucking drove back to Indianapolis. But it literally was like a fucking, like the TikTok you see. They just, if you're at 2 or 3 a.m. at a Waffle House, you just expect at some point somebody's going to get in a fight. It's going to be you or somebody. Somebody is going to get in a fight in a Waffle House, and you just kind of let them do their thing, and eventually they'll leave.
Have you seen those fantasy football punishments where you have to eat 24 waffles? Like you have
I don't like waffles.
You have to sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours, but for every waffle you eat, it takes an hour off. So people are just plowing waffles to get the fuck out of there.
I'd fucking sit there and people watch it's better than the airport.
I'll do 12. 24 is crazy, dude. 24 hours is a lot.
I could sit in a Waffle House booth forever. I mean, they got jukebox too, still. You can go into
still?
still jukebox in a Waffle House.
Somebody said Jimmy John's. I do like Jimmy John's. That's new to me. I've only had it the last couple of months.
I don't eat meat named after another man. That ain't me. I ain't talking about that homosexual talk again. I love John's meats.
What?
There's two men too. That's double. That's a double whammy, Jimmy and John. You're taking them both at the same time. Just throw a bunch of oil on it.
Slides right down.
Oh, that's Jersey Mike's, sorry.
Freaky fast. You have to read the options out loud. If we're going to help you here, you have to read the options.
Honestly, after all that talk, I think it's going to end up being IHOP, I'll be honest
with you. Yeah, you're already after it.
Because I can just picture myself just 10:30 at night. It's fucking like 25 degrees outside. Nobody was on the roads, but I thought, you know what? I can fucking tough this shit out. I got a fucking Honda Civic, and I drive down the road to Waffle House. The snow is slowly falling. It's at every Waffle House. I live right next to a truck stop, so the semis are going by. You see their lights. You feel like Christmas is coming up, and you're sitting there with your crispy hash browns. The lady sets it down. Here you go, babe, and you think you're on top of the world. You know. You look outside the window. The cook just walked outside. He just lit a cigarette. Everything is right with the world. In those moments, those were the happiest days of my life, sitting at Waffle House by myself at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, thinking, "Damn, I didn't study for this exam tomorrow." Oh well.
And somebody said Denny's. I would do Denny's over IHOP.
Well, there's no Denny's around here either. So
there's no Denny's around here. Shit.
Not that I know of.
Damn. All right.
And IHOP's like just right there. So, actually, there is Denny's, but it's 12 miles away. Fuck that.
That is very far in Uber world. All right. Well, you order your food. Any last words for the people?
What do you get your hash browns?
Well, I
Covered, smothered, chunked.
No, regular. I like breakfast
Blunked.
potatoes. I don't put no cheese, no bullshit. And that's why I don't like IHOP. They have those shoestring nonsense bullshit. I hate it.
What are you talking about? They have shredded potatoes, but you can buy
That's why I hate
potatoes. You literally, I buy breakfast potatoes every time.
I know, but they don't have. I do like breakfast potatoes, and I like hash browns. I hate the shredded ones. Hate them.
So don't get them. They have the fucking breakfast potatoes. What are you talking about?
I understand. But
you said I don't go to IHOP because they have the shredded. Okay, then get the fucking ones you want, idiot. What are you doing?
But at that point, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know they made the regular potatoes.
I literally get a side. I get shredded. I get crispy shredded hash browns, and then at literally like for dessert, I get a side order of breakfast potatoes.
Yeah, see, I do like. You know what my favorite breakfast is here? First Watch. I'll get a skillet, which is like breakfast potatoes with some sunny side up eggs and some like sausage and all that bullshit. Ooh,
I just ate at breakfast place at Legacy. What's that place? It's Haystack. That's pretty good.
The one that overlooks the...
Yeah, that's Haystack, right?
It's not Haystack. Haywire.
Haywire. I knew it was Hay something.
Yeah, Haywire's good. Yeah, Haywire's good. Angelo Moriello.
Some stuff gets a little bit too fancy.
first
I'll tell you what, in Vegas, that place that we ate, that's a good breakfast spot. What is it? The Sultan? Is it Sultan Ivy?
I forget what it was. That
And
was a very
Aria?
good. The juice was delicious. That is a good breakfast spot.
That's a good breakfast spot.
That is. Honestly, Egg Slut is like world renowned there. And next time I'm in Vegas, I got to go eat at Egg Slut.
Here's that homosexual. You know, so.
It's Egg Slut. It sounds feminine.
You're an egg slut?
But anything in that voice sounds like that.
Anything in that voice sounds like that.
Okay. All right. Go get your food. I got to shut this down and put on chapters.
Let's talk all night.
Okay. Enjoy your trip, Jakey boy. I will talk to you before then. And everybody else, thank you for the watch.
Lock of the week's
Appreciate you.
already up. Like the stream if you haven't already. Like the stream if you haven't. Like it.
I should just make you finish the song, but we're not going to. Thank you for the watch. Appreciate every last one of you.
I like it.